cooking on high market heat. What is going on? How's everybody's afternoon going? Peace, power, and profit to everybody who's tuning in, who's busy, because I know this is the time of day when most of you guys are like super busy. Why is that? Because this is the time when the markets are giving their sweet spot, right? That lunch rush hour where the algos have taken control and the pit crew is off the lunch and money's still being made, right? Again, hope everybody's having a good afternoon. Like always, I try to give a little formal, announcement before I come on. But this time, again, like most times, I'm just saying, hey, let's go live. Let's talk a little bit. Try to get the link out to a few sources, and from there we'll just impromptu and improv as we always do, right? Again, it's not necessarily nothing formal about the markets, right? Either they moving or they not, right? Either you making money or you not, right? Either you learning something or you're paying tuition, right? So hope everybody again is having a great afternoon. It's your brother African Emporium coming to you guys on this Money Monday to talk a little bit about what's going on, what I see in the markets, especially coming into this week. In my opinion, of course, like we have stressed many times about, we got this inflationary, fog over the markets. We got the idea that the recovery aspect of this, economy as a whole is still somewhat stagnant, even though, there has been some kind of jubilee behind some of the data points we're getting for unemployment, this, that, and the third. But, for the real smart people, right? When I say smart people who really analyze data and stats in terms of how the economy is progressing or not, we still have to come to terms that we're playing from the bottom, right? We're coming from the bottom up. So everything looks good when you're at the bottom. But the reality is when you look at the overall macro picture of our economy, this global economy scenario as a whole, when you kind of, try to put it all in the context in terms of how markets will fare across, different international lines of this, that, and the third, supply chains, again, restrictions, flight value, shipping, whatever, all the things begin to make sense, right? It matters, right? Because now you can't just have a very jaded view about what it looks like in your neck of the woods, right? Because it's so much bigger than that, right? That's why they call it the global free markets, right? Even though we're in the Keynesian marketplace right now, but it's still called the global free markets for a reason. And so you have to, be very meticulous about how you analyze data, how you look for opportunity in the markets right now, because everything, as it may seem like you can just buy the dip on everything and it goes up. Well, that's not the case right now, right? And we understand that the reason why things are starting to be a little bit more organic in terms of how you should approach the markets is because, right, the conflicting data points have now came to what they call a crucible moment, where it's either barbecue or mildew, right? You can only print money for so long. You can only have quote unquote good data points where you're saying that we're doing good, and you not need money printing, which obviously in that case is causing inflation, because we don't have really organic production happening, right? You don't have the cost of labor to balance out all this debt or free money that's being kind of pumped into the markets, right? So something's going to give, right? You can only kind of beat the dollar down for so long, right? Which come out market, what they call money manipulation or currency manipulation, right? So there's a lot of things going on. Of course, obviously, if you've seen the headlines earlier today, the oil market, it took a pullback. Yesterday in the futures market, gold just took a massive pullback. Man, did it wet the bed. I think at the low, gold was down almost like 50, 60 points, if I'm not mistaken, off that drop. And that was, again, based upon what? The idea that there's some kind of rumors coming out from the Federal Reserve. This is the week they have what they call a Jackson Hole meeting. If you guys are familiar with the Jackson Hole meeting, where the Federal Reserve and a lot of people on the economic side of the house come together to discuss, overall macro pictures of our economy, some of the neighboring central bankers, stuff like that, how they're faring in their neck of the woods, whatever. And so sometimes policies or addendums or amendments or mandates are also born in Jackson Hole, right? This is a place they go out there and they go fishing, and they're getting paid, all taxpayer dollars to go kind of kick off and drink wine and talk about how they go, either improve the economy or screw it up even more, right? So if you're not familiar with Jackson Hole, definitely look into it a little bit. Again, it's kind of like when they go to Davos, right? Everybody go to Davos, Switzerland. All the dignitaries come in from all over the world, and they just sit there and have, expensive dinners and wines on their, citizens, dime, and they discuss a whole lot of cheese and crackers and whatever, right? But real world people like you and myself, we're kind of sitting back and trying to figure out, what is our next best move, right? What is our next best move when it comes to our financial, freedom, quote unquote, if you will, right? And so, again, for us, a lot of us who use the markets or trade the markets, of course, we know that this is somewhat our daily bread in a lot of ways. If you do it part-time, full-time, swing time, however you offer access to the market, my thing is that I just implore you to have some access to it, right? Through any of the asset classes that are out there, forex, crypto, whatever, options, whatever. Just have access to it because, again, this is where wealth is created. And why do I know that? Because, again, all your commodities, all your, services, all your pretty much, things that you like on a ubiquitous level is somewhat controlled through the global free markets, right? As a publicly traded company or a private entity that also may have, angel investments, coming in from a publicly traded company, right? So that affiliation alone gives that company credibility, even though they might not be publicly traded as the brand itself. But Amazon may have money in it, or Google may have money in it, right? Tesla may have money in it. And so that still looks good in terms of their overall brand value, right? So again, everything's interconnected is my point, right? You cannot, move around this planet and don't, a bag of rice, whatever, right? A fancy satellites, flying up and out in the, lower or Earth orbit or whatever the case, everything has some kind of value of connectivity, right? And so, again, for us, this is great because we get a chance to dissect the world. We get a chance to see, what's popping, what's not, who's intelligent, who's faking it, right? Nicola, excuse me, Nicola. About that Nikola trade truck. Yeah, we'll get to that. But no, seriously, we get a chance to see everything up front, close and personal. Why? Because our money is pretty much preceding us in terms of how we feel about these companies, right? We get to invest in them. We allow them to go do all the heavy lifting, right? We let them do all the R&D, and we just do our back end diligence, to see whether or not this is a great opportunity or not, right? If everything checks out, guess what we do? We go along for that ride too. Right? It could be a 3-month ride, it could be a 2-week ride, it could be 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. It's all up to you. That's the great thing about it, right? There's no mandate policy that says you have to hold a stock for so long, right? Unless you bought that Robinhood IPO. Yeah, they got you on the 30-day sale restriction, right? Ain't that crazy, right? The one company that had allowed a lot of traders to blow up their accounts, put a restriction on you being able to sell their stock if you bought it early during the IPO pre-launch, right? But again, this shows you, the nature of Robinhood is sketchy, right? But whatever. We use the app. We just don't play their reindeer games, right? We understand how this works, right? We understand that, it's all about, seeking alpha, seeking opportunity, having multiple ways that you can access, again, market. So these apps are just, one of many, whatever, right? Grain of salt. We keep it pushing, all right? So again, without kind of, taking up too much time, kind of jumping right into it, because again, when I do fire up the live stream, y'all know what we do over here. We go to work, right? We want to pull up some stocks. We want to go over some information. We want to be able to have that kind of, cozy conversations surrounding around, what everybody's thinking, right? What are you looking at? What are you, what do you feel good about, right? Because right now you're seeing, like we spoke about several times, especially guys who are inside of our training sessions that we have every Thursday. We've been speaking about this great rotation, right? We've been speaking about, how you should always stay, in the mindset that the trend is your friend in terms of where the money is going, right? Wherever the money's going, that's where we need to be, right? And when we get a chance to front run the money based upon some good, research and good, data harvesting, then, of course, we can take positions ahead of that next particular, potential move, whatever, right? So it's all relevant. But it's a part of our daily existence, right? Because again, we're just data harvesters or data collectors by what? By trade, literally, right? Literally by trade, right? We disseminate information, make executive decisions based upon that, and then put our money on the line based upon that. right? Again, it's the same thing if you're sitting on the job waiting to get what, the assignment for the day or any kind of update on the job, right? For us, we're just doing it, in our own respective place, right? On the boat, on the beach, at the lunch dock, wherever you at, right? You get a chance to access these markets. So shout out to everybody again coming into the building. I see family coming in on the YouTube side of things. What's going on over Chris? What's going on over Brandon? See the family coming through already, right? We got overseas in the house, over Marquise in the building, brother Jay Shelton in the house, over Divine in the house. Good to see you, family, as always. All right, good to see everybody popping up, and anybody that's on the Facebook side of the house again. Thank y'all for tuning in, hanging out with your brother again. I know it's midday. This is lunchtime. Some of you guys are probably eating, right? Like, I'm on my lunch break, bro. I'm on my lunch break, right? But again, if you are able to check in, thank you for, again, your viewership and supporting, the conversation, the build, the channel, all those things that are, that are great, right? So shout out to you all as well. All right. So again, like I was saying earlier, just want to kind of discuss a few stocks. A lot of things kind of, moving in the weirdest way, right? Kind of starting off with what they call the elephant in the room, right? A matter of fact, let me get the link too, just in case you guys want to come. What's going on, brother Mathis? See you in the building right there. Let me get this link here for you guys really quick here. In the event you guys do want to come on to the panel, discuss anything dealing, surrounding the markets, right? We actually got some news that came out recently too on the geopolitical side of things concerning the vaccine, which we can talk about that as well, only because I think, that's going to be a major catalyst coming up here in the next, within this month. I think before the month of August is completely up, we're going to get some kind of value move or idea that we need to start kind of, planning our next potential, position, right? Well, what I mean by that, of course, when there's always this talk about, going back to a place where we've been before in markets. Of course, markets have memory for a reason, right? Patterns and trends, right? It's that's what this is about, continuity of that. Well, markets, are very finicky when it feels like it cannot price in anomalies, right? These black swan events, as they say, right? And I know for what it's worth, they're trying to figure out how they can price in, the upcoming, surge of the new cases starting to come out, even though with all this kind of, okay, yeah, we got our, vaccine stuff, but it's not enough, right? It's not enough. Y'all know what I mean by that, right? People are generally, concerned again, right? So whether they want to go back into a workforce that may not be, conducive to their safety, whatever the case, there's a lot to be kind of, discussed, right? So we're going to talk about that. So what's going on over Mateo? Peace to have you in the building, man. Hey, man, it's been a minute, man. Good to see you in the building, man. Let me make you a mod, man. We make everybody a mod. We family, right? We don't, we don't discriminate for nobody. What's going on? Oh, my brother Jay, I got to definitely make him one, right? We family over here, right? Good to see you, Mateo, man. Hope you're doing well, man. Definitely good to see you, man. There's the link, guys. If you guys want to come on to the panel too, definitely feel free, right? Definitely feel free on that side of the house too. And yeah, I guess there's more reason why I need to be going live, right? I keep telling myself I need to get back on the schedule, but I'm trying to get my, my back end of the scenario in place so I can have that freedom to do so. All right, and it's still balancing itself out, since I definitely moved recently. So we'll get there, right? We'll definitely get there. All right, so yeah, so I'm gonna jump right into it, guys. Like I said, I'm not gonna be on here extremely long. I just want to hit some key points, go over some ideas, go over some tickers, and move out. And just speak about the things that are just obviously, relevant to our situation, right? Again, we're dealing with COVID. The COVID conversation is kind of back on the table. Now, it may have foreshadowed the ideal of the inflation talk, right? The ideal of what's going on with the feds. But again, at the end of the day, we know what's going on, right? We know that this pie, in terms of this, looking at the overall picture of what we may deal with in the next, third quarter session, the fourth quarter session, if we need to start planning for that now, or do we can, kind of still ride the wheels of the, the money print, right, until they fall off. Now, typically, you do want to stay, what they say, invested, right? A little risk on, a little risk off, lever down. I would say lever down some of your leverage possibly. That's just my opinion. Of course, this is not investment advice. This is just my opinion. Of course, my disclaimer is down in the description box below. This is definitely not investment advice, but you have to be cautious. Is my point, right? You have to realize that at any given moment, the algos are trying to front run everybody else. That's how this stuff works, right? They're trying to front run everybody else's decision making, right? When everybody start making that potential move to the exit, you need to make sure that you you got the memo and you're not late to the party, quote unquote, right? And that's if you just feel like you want to trim a little bit, if you already been riding the gravy train a little bit, again, gravy valley biscuit wheels. Y'all know our theory over here, right? And you may want to take a little bit of money off the table, a little profit off. That's fine, right? I tell you, never hurt a person to take some money off the table, right? And some of you guys been in some of these assets, they up 20, 30, 40, 60%, 80%, 100%, 300%, right? And more, right? I mean, you look at stocks like even like Moderna, right? How big was that Moderna play, right? Of course, we was hammering Moderna way back in February of 2020, right? Y'all know that was my favorite play that I said this is gonna be the banger, right? Throughout all this COVID stuff, I was like, Moderna gonna be that one. And a lot of people like, no, maybe Pfizer, man, Johnson. People had their own choice. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, based upon my understanding of the science, the company, what they had been doing even before they kind of got that, that call off the bench to say, hey, we need you guys to step it up and come up with some kind of backstop for this coronavirus. I was, thinking to myself, man, this little company right here, they got all the right moving parts, and their ideal of their biology within their, their departments in terms of what they're doing to come up with a vaccine using mRNA scenario as opposed to just kind of using, coaches of the a natural virus in itself. This could be great. Basically like nanobots, right? You got, programmed nanobots that go in, attack viruses, and also help build up your immune system to kind of make, the T cells, antibodies to be able to combat viruses. And so I just like their science. I just like the science of Moderna. And who knew they would end up being where they are today? Now, of course, had I just known it was going to be at this level, yeah, I probably would have, sold, all the properties and threw all of it in Moderna, right? But we know that's not responsible investing, right? But for the most part, it has served me well. Of course, entry prices for myself was a little bit over like 60, 70 bucks. Around 60 in the beginning. I started adding a little bit around 60. And we had some people actually got in around 50, right? But I had been beating the horse on it before then. When it was like 20, 30, I was just trading it. I didn't have a long-term position. Now, shame on me for that. Of course, I'll be the first one to admit that. All right, I was just trading it, right? Because I was like, man, the price action is weird. Because at that time, they were still trying to solidify themselves, right? These vaccine stocks or whatever. But I got hungry and serious about it around the 60s, low 60s, and I just kept adding. And I actually have it on auto add in my stash account where I just send money to it every month. No matter where the price is at, I'm just gonna keep adding it. And so I think on that position, I'm up. Gosh, I want to say what 400-500%, somewhere around there. I think I'm around about 500-600% last time I checked. I'm up there, right? And it looks nice, right? I'm happy. I'm happy, right? So yeah, real quick, since we're talking about that, let's look at Moderna real quick here, guys. And like I said, you guys want to come on the panel? The link is definitely down there in the description box. Definitely come on, guys. Let's build, right? All right? Let's do what we do best, right? This is what we do. We go to work on this channel, right? So yeah, what's going on? I see somebody come. Okay, all the fam over there on the Facebook side of the house too. All right, thank y'all for tuning in as well. All right, so yeah, let's pull up some data. So Brother Divine, he's up 325%. That's what I'm talking about, right? We get money over here, all right? We get money over here. We don't just talk. We work. And we plan, and we handle our business, right? That's what we do over here, right? So get excited for that. So let's run over here real quick and look at Moderna. So today is a massive breakout day for Moderna, right? This on the daily chart here, of course, you can see right there, this is daily. And we see just based upon, the indicators I have up here. Now you got the 20-day moving average here, which is this blue line. You have this thick yellow line, which is 200-day moving average. I don't have the 50 up because I'm just playing basically off the linear regression band itself. This kind of controls a lot of that small time frame value between the 9, the 14, the 50 within that to a degree. But typically when you're trading intraday, just my opinion, most aggressive traders, they like having the 20-day moving average average up on intraday plays. Now, again, if you just really hitting those small caps, then the 9 moving average is really good for that because you need that small time, window. But the 20 is really good, especially if you're playing off the 5-minute, hourly chart, whatever. It suits me well, right? So I always have 20 moving average up on any chart I have up. Because that's about the standard time how money rotates. Sometimes when you're looking at filings and this, that, and the third, when people kind of coming into assets, they're trying to trade or trend around that 20-day moving average period, right? But nonetheless, if you're looking at Moderna here, okay, let's just back it up, put some context on it, right? Put some context on this thing. If you look at this here, the more I kind of squint it down like this here, right? The stock just IPO literally into 2018, right? I mean, you just look at that, right? And for the most part, it just went sideways consolidation, right? Anytime you see what they call, almost like a flat top breakout, when it just goes sideways and build up all that kinetic energy, right? Of course, playing at a point where you're trying to play at or above the 200-day moving average here, as you see that it finally kind of start getting above that 200 moving average, going back early 2020, late 2019, then it was pretty apparent that, the game is finna be on, right? The game was on, right? Because the stock spent a lot of time kind of trending, at or below it in terms of the 20-day moving average because we had kind of really completed a 200-day scenario, right? When it became apparent that it was, on and popping, the stock obviously performed very well. I mean, look at the price action here. Now, some people are like, man, things just went sideways for them. But sometimes going sideways is a good thing. Why? Because in that moment, what's happening? You have people who are holding their positions, and this is for that greater move, right? They're thinking, okay, this is a great opportunity here, this, that, and the third, whatever the data says. I like the future aspect of where the stock can go. You got that kind of mindset, right? You got, and the fund managers and stuff like that, they're buying, of course, they're loading up early, like they always do, right? That's how they make all these billions and billions of dollars, right? And then the retail trader, he or him or her or whatever are trying to find out where, they fit in the grand scheme of things, right? Are they too early? Are they too late? Are they just right? Right? And in this case, of course, you're looking at Moderna stock here. As a matter of fact, let me blow the screen all the way up so you can guys see it, in its entirety here. All right. When you see it from where, we began to really start, finding favor in the stock. Like I said, this was going back around February sometime, right, of 2020, right? And, of course, all the hoopla and hyper behind the viruses, that the third, I had done my research on the stock, like, well in advance. And, again, we was prepared. I would say that. I think we were very prepared going into what we, now are, on the back end of this and saying, man, this thing is crazy, right? This whole COVID stuff, right? This SARS-CoV-2, right? Cousin of the MERS, right? A Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome scenario, and the grandson of what? The flu, right? Or the pneumonia, right? It's in those respiratory diseases. I can't even say respiratory. All right, I want to say repertoire also, I guess. But no, it's within that family, right? But this one here particularly is a mess, right? And so it's not like it's easy as, getting the flu shot or whatever the hell like that. So they had to come up with a special concoction to kind of, retard this crazy virus. Right. So again, Moderna kind of being at the forefront of that kind of, nanobot. And I say nanobot, of course, this is me kind of, embellishing the idea of their science, right? It's basically using, reparative, mRNA to help combat viruses, right? So it's a really good, in my opinion, again, like I said, based upon that, it's a good value, sequence value of science that they're using to attack. And it's not just viruses in terms when we look at like coronavirus, right? This science can also be used now to help potentially in the future, potentially fight cancer and other illnesses, leukemia, whatever. And so that's the next level that analysts are now starting to see in Moderna, right? Most people think it's just strictly COVID stuff, right? They just lost in the sauce with COVID, and that's fine. But when you dig a little deeper and pull the layers of the onion back, you start to realize, okay, these people are getting excited about this, this science that they have here now that may also can go across other lines to help, fight other illnesses and diseases, this, that, and the third. And so the stock is now trading with that kind of concept in mind that the sky could definitely be the limit for Moderna. And keep in mind, the longest this virus, and let me bring this thing back into view, longest this virus keeps replicating, these viruses are still going to be and these vaccine producing companies are going to be just as relevant. See, that's the crazy part. It's not like, okay, we hit that point now, we hit our apex, we good to go, we got all we need, we just gonna kind of fight this virus for what we got. No, because we've been figuring out that the way these viruses mutate, they're eating the vaccine. They're literally eating the vaccine. Like, man, you got to come with something a little better than this, right? Now we got booster shots, second shot, a third shot, fourth shot, booster shot. When before it's like, no, you're only gonna need like 2-3 shots. The data obviously keeps what, right? Evolving. Therefore, the vaccine science has to keep what? Evolving. You cannot just ride this trick pony all the way to the sunset. This is not how this stuff works, right? Biology in itself is weird, right? It's an enigma for a reason, right? No one knows the true, value of Mother Nature, right? The wrath of Mother Nature, even when it's altered and manipulated by man, right? Whatever, right? So either way, these companies are going to be around for quite a while. And so Moderna, looking at the stock here again from purely from an investment cycle perspective, like I said, we were back, in around 40, 50 bucks, 60. Again, people were getting in, down here on the low points, right? When it was around this point here, meaning starting what they call a real position. As you see, even going back that far, I had some kind of, some markers here, back on that time when it was around like 67, whatever. Of course, it's kind of around that time frame I began to get really excited about it. You cross over 200, you cross over to 20, and you trended at or around the 20 moving average with some strength. And then, of course, at that point, I started scaling in. At that point, I think my first buy was around like 57 something. And then I added more with a little bit more weight to it when it got into the 60s, right? And at that point, it's kind of trended sideways between, 56, 55, whatever, even dipped down to 46 at one point there. And then just kind of went sideways and kind of built up all that accumulation, all that kinetic energy, right? All right. When it stocks be trading inside a vacuum, quote unquote, they say, and then that thing obviously made that release start kind of breaking itself out, and going higher. And so if you're looking at it from the linear regression band, of course, yes, clearly outside the linear regression band with today's move, even though we kind of traded outside of it, it tried to pull itself back into it, right? And that's the algos, right? The algos are smart. They were trying to pull the stock back inside this linear regression box, right? Because it was, completely overbought, right? And, to try to get, allow it to catch up, right? At least with its 20-day moving average, right? Which is not at this point showing at 352, right? Good luck with that as of, today. Good luck with it, getting back down that low. But at some point, we do know this thing going to have to kind of balance itself out. Not that it have to, but it's going to try to, kind of trend, to the point where it can kind of move itself back inside that linear regression band, because this band itself is what it's living to. It's going to move in relation to what the moving averages, the price and time, axis. Y'all know how this stuff work, right? Time over money, right? Y'all know the best mathematical equation ever is time over money. So your time is at the bottom, right? And here's your money side over here, right? X axis, Y axis, right? So by the time, it kind of bounces itself out and get somewhat back into a strike zone, in my opinion, let's say just looking at this kind of consolidation here, just new support point around about 352 using the 20-day moving average here, obviously, right? And the most notable one around about 400, right? We're using whole dollar marks at this point for a reason. That's a good window, right? You talk about $40 window, right? And today's move in itself is up around about 60 some odd dollars, right? Crazy move, right? So given that idea, I think we'll kind of somewhat, trend back down at some point once all this kind of, euphoria, dissipates around that 420, 430-ish area. Just kind of splitting the difference a little bit. At that point, you got some resistance here. At that point, when it's kind of wicking up at this point, you kind of come back and test those areas. And then possibly, trend in around that point, let's say 400 base support to like about 450, right? And then from there, potentially consolidate and try to make a next big move, right? We don't know what can come, come in the future, right? They already talk about other mutations that might be, coming back on the scene. And so these companies are going to be working around the clock. And they still need to produce, replenishing vials to get out to other nations still. They still doing that too. We forget about that. They're still producing catch-up, vaccines, meaning to get them out to other places that need them, right? And so, so from a profit perspective, they're definitely, in a position now where they can really eat. They got all the grant money from the government off, doing, Operation Warp Speed with, under President Trump. And so all that grant money really funded their operation where it needed to, because they was waiting on that kind of scenario anyway. Which really jumpstart their reality to where it's at today. All right, couple that with investors like myself and you, who look at this and say, okay, this is a great opportunity. Well, guess what? This is just, in my opinion, the beginning. Now, what's crazy is, even at this price, $480 a share, right? You ask yourself a question: Can Moderna still be bought out? Can someone come along and still buy Moderna out? Keep in mind, Moderna is still a small company. The stock may look big, but in essence to their reality, they're still a small company. They're still a fledgling company. That's what's scary, right? That's what's scary about this, right? Think about it. What's going on over Rich B in the building? I see you over. Peace, power, and profit to you. Peace, power, and profit to you, family. Right? So if you think about it again, Moderna is still a small company. And that's sometimes what, you're looking at stock prices, it'll fool you, right? It'll trick you into thinking that, okay, yeah, this, that, and the third. No, but these companies are still fresh off the press. And bigger companies that could easily come along and scoop them up would benefit from having such a powerhouse within their portfolio, right? Just the future of Moderna as a whole, and them being able to move into other avenues to come up with, cures for other, scenarios and this, that, and the third, or whatever, or help meets or whatever, stop loss or whatever you want to call it, right? It's crazy, right? As of today, the company has $167 billion, market cap, right? Again, we was looking at it when I think it was around about maybe 12 billion, somewhere around there, less than that at some point. And since then, the returns have just been crazy, right? Just magnified the level of returns that Moderna has now been able to amass, right? Again, you just say to yourself, like, man, this is next level, right? This is what you want to be in when it pops off. Again, the thing was at 17, 18 bucks, 19, we were playing in around that point, and then it just broke out, right? Right? We're talking about, we're talking about a year and 6 months? A year and 6 months? Are you kidding me? Right? Matter of fact, let's go look at this chart right here. Right? A year and 6 months. Now let that marinate for a moment, guys. See, when people are like, man, how y'all be finding these stocks and this, that? Look, all you gotta do is just be, as they say, stay ready so you don't have to worry about getting ready, right? Just look at this here real quick. Let's run over here real quick the FinViz here, just on GP. Now, these ain't the most completely to the minutia acronyms, but they're kind of a roundabout, picture of what the stock is doing. Now, again, granted, PE's at 51. We know companies that got PE's even higher than that, right? Before even getting to name some of them, right? Tesla and all of them, right? But it only has a P of 51, right? Price to earnings at 51. Forward P is at $19.31. So not overly bad, but just for the ideal of, the book value, as you see the book value sitting at $9.60, cash value is at $19.15. We spoke about that $19 area for a reason, right? But you got a $167 market cap, right? That's because people want to be in, right? They want to be in what they consider to be a future powerhouse play of, growth in the future, right? In the coming future. Again, still a young fledgling company that may still have a window of opportunity to be bought out by a bigger company. As weird as that may sound, right? It still can be bought out even at a $480 price point. Meaning that the stock being at that price, right? So again, just look at their performance, right? For the week, 17%. For the month, 77%. For the quarter, 153%. Now, if you think about that, right? For a lot of my option traders out there, when you start thinking about the ideal of being patient in terms of how to use the options market to your benefit over a long-term perspective, right? We know about the weeklies. We know about, trading bi-weekly, 2 weeks out, right? And especially in certain markets, you can't even really trade that, in the weekly because the prices is crazy. And the price action sometimes will throw you all over the place. Depends on what you're trading, of course. But when you start thinking about a stock like Moderna, it became apparent that you need to start thinking at least 2 to 3 weeks to 4 weeks out in terms of how you want to play your position, right? Because the growth has just been phenomenal, right? It's been on fire. And we talking about magnification options, right? 100 shares, right? Right? On the 17% scenario for the week. For the month, 77%. Let that marinate. A quarter, 153%. For the half, right? Basically, 6 months on the half scenario, 134%. And then year, right? For the year, we're up 460%. 460. All right. Some people obviously got higher than that, right? Matter of fact, let me see where I'm at. I think I'm somewhere around there, right? I'm pretty sure I'm somewhere at that point there. But again, we're talking about massive movement, right? Massive growth here in this little bit of time, right? So if anybody new to the ideal of Moderna may not know about it, whatever, you ask yourself like, man, okay, how did I miss this? Well, it was blasted all over the TV. It was whatever. Doing Trump, speaking about Operation Warp Speed, just the ideal of Dr. Fauci, many others, whatever, right? It just makes you like wonder, like, man, how did I miss this, right? But whatever, right? You ask yourself, is it too late? I missed the move. Well, guess what? Everything that has, let's say this aspect of, I should say, awareness, because people are paying attention to it now, then chances are there are people who are still saying that they're late, right? Right? And they still want to be a part of it. So again, you ask yourself, what's a good a good potential place to get in at? Again, my opinion, like we speak about earlier. Well, be smart. Use your moving averages, right? They're trying to tell you what they feel like fair value is to a degree. And as of the latest of the 20-day moving average, you're talking about $352. The 50 moving average probably be around maybe what, 260, 270-ish, whatever. Now, if you can get down that low again, albeit good luck, I'll be adding more down there, right? But anything can happen. But nonetheless, up here at 487, and it's still pumping higher here, even at this moment we're talking. Yeah, it's a bit expensive, right? And it's definitely overbought. You're sitting at about an 86 on the daily RSI. On the daily RSI, sitting at 86. All right, you already know if you look at the hourly, right? Let's run over here real quick and look at the hourly chart here. If you look at that hourly chart, you know this thing finna be like super high, right? Super high. Right? I'm almost guaranteed, we finna be rocking some, high 80s or whatever the case, right? Let's run over here real quick and look at this. Let's get back over here. So look at the hourly chart, all right? Yeah, well, 80s, right? You're in the 80s, right? On the hourly. Look at the movement for this day, though. Look at this movement on on today's action on the hourly chart. I mean, look at these big bullish engulfing candles. Now, is that retail money? Are those candles right there retail money? Those big bullish engulfing green candles right there. Do y'all think they're retail money? Or is that institutional money? Now, consider you got what? Consolidation point came over 3-day span here, and all that energy just kind of stayed sideways, building pressure. And now you have that release. But just like retail traders that see that and say, okay, this might be getting ready to break out, right? There's all this consolidation here. Well, algos and institutional buyers see it too. Of course they do. And so all they're doing is going to trade that next big news catalyst, that next big, technical breakout when it just starts to happen. They want to be ready so they can pump millions and millions of dollars into it and just run over the short sellers who's sitting there trying to get in front of this thing. Right? And it just literally decimated the shorts today. Decimated them. And the stock is still going higher as we're speaking right now. I mean, you're at 488 here at 218 in the afternoon here, and the stock doesn't seem like it just it cares about any form of oscillator saying it's overbought, it's extended, whatever the case. It's just moving purely on price action, controlled by a lot of the algos and big money people who can afford stock at this price point. Because keep in mind, at this point, anybody's retail trading, you can be trading with leverage, of course, but most people are using the option market at this point. I almost can guarantee if we go look at the options flow chart, right, it's going to be looking very beefy on the call side of things, right? So real quick, let's run over here. Since speaking on that, let's run over here to Black Box. Right, we're going to use Black Box here for the real-time buyers in terms of the options market here. Just kind of see what's going on here. So give me 1 second here. Let's go over there and look at that. Again, y'all know how this stuff go, man. It's crazy, right? Right. Let's look at Moderna here real quick here. Right. Let's check it out. And let's put on the 2-day scenario here. All right. Now, yeah, today's price action is just it's banging. Now look at the flow here. This is the flow, right, for today's price action. You notice something here? The first literally hour, let's say hour and a half. I mean, everything, even up to 12 o'clock. All you see is what? Green. All the way pretty much into like 1 o'clock, right? You see a whole lot of green. Call buys. With occasional put sprinkled in there, right? Right? Occasional put sprinkled in there. But look at the strike price. That's what's very, very revealing. Look at the strike price. 500 call. Somebody bought the 500 strike call at 938. At that time, the stock was trading at what? $427 a share. Right now, that person is up crazy gains right now. Crazy gains. Guess how much them contracts cost to the piece? Right? And look at the price there. $11.05 a contract. $11.05 a contract. That's basically $1,000 for that contract for the 500 strike call at 938 for a 500 strike call. Literally 80 some odd dollars out of the money at that point. Very rich premium here. I mean, look at the value blocks over here. 100,000, a million, 500, $500,000 there, 59,000 there, a million, 670,000. See that in there? Do y'all think that's retail traders? They sprinkled in there. Of course, they're sprinkled in there. But do you think that's just, those kind of blocks like that are just, pure retail traders buying, blocks on their own? No, that's definitely institutional people like that, big money coming in and unloading the boat. I mean, just crazy numbers coming in here. Even on the back end of the day, 100,000 still, 924,000 here for the 520 calls. That contract costed $51 a contract. $51 a contract. Are y'all kidding me? Right? That's $5,000 for that contract, for that 520. And people buying them up like it's just running water. Right? Just buying them up. Right? Again, just crazy values here. And these are different expiration dates too. Now, keep in mind, the expiration dates are important here because you're saying a person bought, like I said, bought that block right there. They bought the the January 21st, 2020, basically 2022 strike call for 520. Was willing to pay, $5,000 for that contract just to be at or around 500 to 520 bucks strike going into, beginning of the new year. Put a million on it and picked up 181 contracts. 181 contracts. I mean, that kind of stuff there, you just say to yourself, man, that's somebody that's planning for what? Planning for what? For blue skies. For more blue skies at some point. Now, we know the stock going to pull back at some point and go through all that, but that's still a good equilibrium price point. You say 500 to 520, 6 months from now, whatever. 4 or 5 months from now, whatever, you say, okay, that's very plausible. That's very plausible. Given the nature of the virus, given the nature of we might go back into lockdown, because we go back into lockdown, if we go back and start having that conversation again, well, that's the reason why these stocks broke out before. Because everybody started looking for what? The vaccine comes away. Hey, y'all better come up with something stronger. So all eyes go on what? These kind of stocks. And the money's starting to show that. Look at the people buying. Look at the people buying those ones out. Like next year. See right there? That had to have been the same group of people there, or institution, whomever, right? They spent well over what, $101.7 million there on those blocks there for that 520 strike call there. Right? And just the weeklies alone are just bang. All the weeklies right now are just making tons of money right now. Right? Look at this, $16 right here for that contract. I mean, just crazy numbers coming in here based upon, look at 2023. Look at this one here. Somebody bought the 2023, January 2023, 500 strike call. That contract cost that contract cost $10,000, right? $10,000 a contract for that $500 strike call. $1 million worth. They bought 100 of them. 100 of them. So again, somebody knows something, right? And the stock price is showing that because basically anybody that bought in at the beginning of the day today, like 450 strike, 800, 480, final strike, all those right now are deep in the money. They deep in the money right now. Even though they didn't even hit their strike prices, if you bought it fine, they still deep in the money right now in profit. So again, this is, you look at all this stuff, you're like, man, how is this even plausible? It's very plausible. Why? Because people, in terms of when I say people, the investors' mentality out there right now is again flight to safety. Why? Because they know the inflationary genie is at the bottom. They know at some point the Fed's going to get really, really beefing up to talk about tapering the market, which is going to be hawkish towards the algos. Algos going to eventually want to get out of all this high-flying stocks, especially some of the tech scenario, because that's going to improve the dollar. It's going to improve the 10-year yield. Those things obviously hurt tech at some point because their valuations are very lofty. If you got high valuations, you don't necessarily have real, true organic growth to back that. Well, we know the reason why your stock is being bought because your bonds are being protected by the Feds, and therefore your stock price is rising on that that energy. Left to their own devices, they would not be able to produce that level of valuation in this kind of level of market when there's so much scarcity around production, meaning people getting back to work. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. The gravy is good while it's good, but when it stops, guess what? You're going to have to stand on your own. And so the stocks that have benefited the most because of lockdowns and trying to improve some kind of value of functionability for we can survive better with COVID, whatever. Some of those stocks going to get pare back some of their losses. Their gains. Pare back some of their gains, right? And so the tech sector stocks that are already having issues with chip shortages, this, that, and the third. Again, because commodity prices, right? That's what really affects them is their commodities, right? The cost of goods that they use, right? The raw, metals, the woods, the plastics. Commodities are crazy expensive because of what? Inflation, right? The scarcity aspect of it, which drives the cost up, right? Margin prices increase because you can charge people what you want. They ain't got no choice but to buy it because what else you gonna get? Where else you gonna get your products from? And so this is the game of again, this capitalism, at its most wicked, perspective, right? But that's what happens when you have government intervention, right? You got government printing all this money, diluting your money, your worth of your money, diluting the value of your retirement. Now you say, well, my retirement account look good because the stocks are up high. We look good. But at some point, guess what? The back end is going to hurt you at the grocery store, right? At the car lot. Cars are up over what? 30, 40%. Used cars are up 30, 40%. 30 to 40% extra boost on a used car price right now because of inflation. So you're going to pay for it one way or the other, right? They're going to get you at the grocery store, right? Matter of fact, Tyson Foods came out today because they had earnings scenario. Cargill, another food producing company, a company called Cargill. Y'all might be familiar with it, Cargill. And they were like, man, we can't even raise our prices fast enough to accommodate the level of inflation that we're seeing. These are the people that provide you your meat, right? Tyson's Food, chicken, and all this stuff. If you eat that stuff, they're telling you we can't even raise our prices fast enough with the rate of the inflation that is going up. Now, who would you rather trust? Who would you trust? The people that actually on the ground pumping the items out, or the Feds telling you no, that it's just transitory? Think about that for a moment. Who are you gonna trust, right? So no matter what they're saying on the government side, right, we know that they're professional liars, right? They're paid to, keep people, drinking the Kool-Aid, quote unquote, right? For lack of better terminology. But reality is that that's not how this stuff works. That is not how this stuff works, right? So you have to be understanding of that for a reason, because if not, look, it's not going to be pretty, right? If they continue the way that they're going and don't allow the market to kind of work, this stuff out on its own. That's why they call it the free markets. You make the mess, and now the cure is worse than the disease. That's essentially what's happening right now with the economy, because of the fact that they're trying to do over and exceedingly a lot to protect people who own assets, which is us, obviously, for lack, for what it is, right? Their mandate is to protect asset owners, not people who work and don't own assets and just depend on the government for everything, but they get a lot of these taxes, pulled out, right? The working Main Street people are the ones getting it the worst. How you actually, able to pay for that extra, jug of milk or eggs going up and bacon going up and all this stuff going up, and you barely, got employment, if You got unemployment benefits running out, all that stuff going basically to hell in the handbasket. But the inflationary genie again is out the bottle. Once numbers obviously began to function and move through the system, they rarely pare back the prices or cut prices on the back end of inflationary issues like this. When they figure out the market figures out a way to pay for this stuff, they keep those prices. They ain't the same prices. That's what's so dirty about it. Rarely do they pull their prices down to reflect, deflationary, targets, now being more comfortable for the average day, everyday American, so to speak, right? Average everyday American. Rarely do they pull those prices back down. They keep them right up there where they at. So basically, essentially, the cost of living is going up from a manipulated perspective because the feds are printing so much money, diluting the dollar, causing this catastrophe that we know what we're seeing right now. And they feel like you guys will figure out a way to pay for it. Why? Because what else you going to do? Unless you're going to get in the backyard and grow your own, right? It's a dirty game. So this is why you have to have multiple streams of income. This is why you need to learn what we're learning if you're new to this and figure out this is where rich people hide. This is where they hide their money at. And stuff like Moderna, right? At 50, 60 bucks a share, 19 bucks a share. And now they're up so much they can just, go retire on another planet. Literally. Hello, Elon, right? But this is what it costs to be the boss. You have to figure out ways to play ball, as they say, sink or swim. Simple as that. Well, there's a sink or swim reality even on in the workforce on terms of Main Street. You got to figure out how to survive still on Main Street the same way people have to do in Wall Street too. True story, right? True story. Mass mandates coming back, more vaccines. You're going to have a vaccine passport to travel before it's all said and done. They're moving there, guys. You already see what's happening here, guys. It's not even a secret anymore. You see exactly where they're going with all this stuff. All right? You see what's going on here. So you're going to have to be, again, on your game and realize that this is, hey, this is the world that we're going to walk into based upon this whole issue with this virus scenario. So preparation is key, right? Preparation is definitely key. And we're going to continuously talk about these things for a reason because we understand the nature of doing business, right? Doing business on our time, though, and on our dime. That's what makes this so great because we're not completely solely dependent upon somebody else to kind of provide our our daily bread, quote unquote, right? And stuff is just crazy, right? So yeah, let's go over and check some of those leaps real quick, right? Let's go see exactly what bar chart is saying because we already know those prices are going to be like crazy, right? They're going to be crazy. We can almost, pretty much put it, yeah. Let's just go look, right? Let's go check out some of these ridiculous prices over here on bar chart here. All right, let's go over here. See what's going on here. Oh, I'm with the Bao Nano. Excuse me. Wrong one. Even though I like Bao Nano, right? We love our Bao Nano. Genomics, right? All right, hold on 1 second here. Let's go pull up. Did I pull it? No, I didn't. It should be up here. Where we at here? Let's see. Where is my bar chart? Okay, there we go. Here we go. All right. So let's go over and check out Moderna real quick here. All right, just looking at the weeklies here, right? It's gonna blow your mind, right? I was looking at them earlier today too. It's just crazy. Right? This is this week, right? Look at these numbers here. It's crazy, right? That's way down there, right? We know those numbers are jaded anyway, right? Because people been there a lot. But look at these numbers here. 1,200%, 1,100%, 1,200%, 1,400%, 1,300%. Intraday. Even the 610 is up 824%. Matter of fact, if you held that position from last week into today, it's up over 800%. A 610 strike price on Moderna is up 800%. Are y'all kidding me? I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up. And you got a gamma at 620. Now, we know it ain't going to 620. Not, well, man, unless people just crazy run it, right? Wall Street bets got it. But look at all these things up over 1,000%. Ease over 1,000%. Look at it, 465s. Look at it. Look at the price on them. $30 a contract. That's three racks right there, easily. But it's up 1,000%. So you basically paid $3,000. Well, you up $6,000. That's how that works on the option side of the house, right? For all my people that's new to options, right? Your entry, contract price you paid in, whatever percentage gain you get out of that, that's the percentage value that you got in profit. Man, crazy gains. I mean, crazy gains here. Look at this. I mean, look at the put to call ratio. You already know it's gonna be uneven. I mean, look at the puts destroyed. Puts destroyed. Ain't nothing over here green. You got maybe one or two sitting in there. Everything just ugly. Just red all down the put side. Look at the call volume that came in today. A lot of it's still coming in. It's still coming in as of right now. We looked at that on Black Box. Real-time contracts are still being bought. All right, that's one thing I like about Black Box, right? The option scanner, man, that thing is great for that. It really gives you, what people are doing, in real time, basically. And then the dark pool side. The put and the call open interest is based about the same, though. But it doesn't matter. Why? Because all this is fresh meat that came in off from Friday, and that was bought today, intraday. The flood of volume that came in today alone on the calls were just staggering. Look there. 35,000 contracts came in at the $500 strike price. That contract right now is up 1,300%. All that aggregate money that's piled in at $500, whole dollar strike price to 1,300%. 1,300%. Woo woo woo, Gina. Woo woo woo, Gina. Look at here. Again, all you have to have, basically, you see that there was $16, right? That contract is up $16. $16. That means this contract opened up around about $1,000. It was about $1,000 for this contract. No, hold up. I said 1600. No, that's 100. Excuse me, $1 and some change. Excuse me, I take that back. I look at the numbers again. Around about $1.20. It was about $1.20, $100.20 for this contract. Now it's up, $16. Let that marinate, guys. Just let that marinate for a moment. Crazy gains. And see, this is why we love this stuff. This is exactly why we do this. If you could tell me a person can wake up this morning and say, you know what, I like this scenario here. I don't know if it's going to be today or not, but, today's news on, surrounding the vaccines and all this stuff, people getting scared about COVID, I'll pay that $500, strike price. Again, that far out of the money. The stock was on like 427 when it opened up. That far out of the money. Now you done turned $100 basically into what, $1,400. You done turned $100 into around about $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 or $16, depends on if you got in on a small pullback and that premium kind of decelerate a little bit, and then you caught that bottom, then it spack back up. Man, I love catching plays like that. That's $100 that now didn't turn into about $1,500, $1,400. Let that marinate for a moment. Right? Yeah. Again, we talk about, look, bullish. Man, look. Bullish ain't, again, y'all know I did when them puts hit right, or them calls hit right, you spent $100, you done turned $100 into $1,600, and you be like, boy, look, I didn't hit that lick. Hit that lick, boy, you hit that lick, boy, and you be yelling in the house, nobody hit a lick, buddy. Turned 100 into 16. Again, that's massive. You bought like 4. You bought 5, right? Just let that marinate, right? You look, $500 is now worth what? About $7,000, $7,000 somewhere around there. $500 or $600 is now worth about $6,000 or $7,000. Let that marinate for a moment. See, it's that kind of stuff. You done made, somebody, salary in about 2-3 weeks. You did that in one little trade, and the day ain't even over with yet. That's what's crazy. Can I get a hello there? The day ain't even over yet. The day is not even over with yet, right? And the stock still acting retarded, in terms of, it wanted to, break out and, keep pumping. Matter of fact, we still sitting with 488. There we go. I think we broke the high. We broke the high of the day at 488.7. I think we got 489, if I'm not mistaken, intraday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we sitting at the highs, all-time highs, and it's still pumping. Now, my stash account, and I have a little bit in another account, it's feeling really good right about now. Of course, looking really good right about now. 489.29, new high. It's still going higher. Them contracts are still popping. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. Let me update it. So you can see right now, you see the updated $500 strike price right here. Let me update it real quick. You can show. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here, right? That is at 1374 right now, right? Let's update this here. Let's see if it went up to like 14 something right now, because now we at a higher price. We're at 489.69. So let's see. Sure, I love this stuff. Right? Where we at right now? It ain't updating the percentage gain. It's up higher, obviously, at this point. You didn't gain a whole another $1.50, near $2 since we've been on. So it just ain't updated percentage yet. It's slow, probably slow because I don't have the paid version, right? I don't have the paid version of bar chart. I stopped paying for all this stuff. I used to pay for it, but I stopped, man. I'll get the free stuff now. All right, but anyway, it's rocking. It's rocking and rolling. It's banging. Of course, you can just pull up the option calculator, do the conversion yourself. But it's well over at least 1,400% right now. 1,500% right now. All right, what's going on, Ober? Chris, peace, power, and profit to you, Ober. See them pop in the building. What's going on?
Peace, power, and profit, Ober.
You got it, man. What you like about that Moderna scenario right now?
Calls is printing.
Man,
you know how we did on the Weibo comments. We said them calls is printing, baby.
I'm talking about looking at Jay Powell ain't got nothing on Moderna today, right? He can't even
do nothing about it.
Look, boy, you talking about looking good. This thing looking extra nice right now.
Yeah,
right.
That's a beautiful trend, man.
It is. I mean, the chart in itself. See, that's why again we're not even just talking about today's action. Today's action is just ludicrous mode, right? It's in ludicrous mode. Right, what's going on, family? Hypnosis, Dover Fiend. What's going on, family? What's going on, Ober Zane in the building? I see you in the building, Ober Zane. Right, we have other plays maybe available off Intraday or Moderna. It's several, right? Because we still got some of the, I call them, I shouldn't say this, but these subsidiary vaccine plays, right? What I mean by that, meaning those who are in the space and got a vaccine out, but they're not at the caliber of Moderna. What I mean by that, meaning they already are founded stocks who actually have, what they call legacy money moats, meaning they've been around for a while. They got other stuff out there, but this is not their daily bread, quote unquote, right? In terms of their market, in terms of their float value, their outstanding share structure, right? They're kind of heavy. They're overweight with a lot of other stuff to the degree where they don't have main focus on just this, right? And so Moderna in itself kind of stands alone on this case because of it's a pure play on the vaccine, pure play, right? This is all they focusing on right now. Now another one, of course, one that we Gravy Valley Biscuit Wheels too. You know about this one here, Ober Chris. We've been down this road with Novavax, right? Now it just had earnings recently. It pulled back, right? It had a pullback on earnings. That's fine because keep in mind, these companies still so young, they don't have the level of continuity of profit making quite yet. They got a lot of free money from the government, granted, because of the what? Trying to stop this coronavirus. Right. But they're yet to kind of get to what? To that next level. Now look what this did today. Now, and I want to buy this dip. I'm gonna be honest. When Novavax pulled back on earnings, because I shorted it some of it in earnings, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to get in on this next dip. Right? It fell below 2 and then we went average. You kind of hit this little crest here and you kind of rounded bottom here. Basically, came out of Friday, we kind of rounded bottom, right? It held much as it could. It didn't want to go below that 186, I said, okay, they trying to, play support here. Look to your left, right? The left tells you everything. Look at your line right there. Look at all this support coming in at around that point right there, right? You got all this chatter right here. That means, there's some people down there that don't want to just give up too soon, right? It's just a reason for them to add more to their position, basically, right? That's all it was. A sweet spot. Again, coming from this little large, look, I mean, come on. Seriously, 245, you came down to what? 186. Again, that's 60-point drop. You got to say to yourself, man, at least we're going to get a bounce or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now you right back above 200 right now. 40 points. 40 points.
That's crazy.
And see, that's what Novavax gives you because it has a very low float. It has a nice low float.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And if you look at the trend overall, and this on the hourly chart. Now look at the daily here. You got to see this for what it is, right? All right. Let me pull this down so y'all can see this here. You got to see it for what it is. Get all this volume stuff in here. The volume has just been crazy on this stock. Look at this volume just on average. I mean, this is just crazy monstrous volume in this stock, either way you look at it, right? You see what I'm saying? You look at that, and then look at the trend. Now, again, you had them wild spikes like this. We get it, even over here. Of course, I remember we was, looking at this position over here when it was at $83 a share. We was kind of analyzing this kind of consolidation area here when it kind of got above the 20 moving average and showed that level of breakout. That was definitely a marquee turning point for it to me, in my opinion. That's why I had that analyzed there. And lo and behold, guess what? Look to the right of that, we were 100% right. What happened there? It consolidated at or around that little point right there. We drew this circle way back during this time frame here. And then who knew, right? That was going to be a point of contention, for the breakout. And then after that, it was just, blue sky, what they call blue sky breakout, right? Just tearing up, went up as high as like $330 some odd a share. Consolidated. Now it's in what they call a bull flat consolidation. You still got what? You still have higher lows, right? Y'all know this is what we work on, right? Especially in trading. How do you determine an uptrend?
Higher lows.
By its higher lows, right? And look at the higher lows here. Coming off this consolidation here, you basically just went hit neutral there, right? You had a zero-sum gain there, so you basically still at, even here, right? That shows you the strength of that support point coming back over here, right? Everything since that point just been what? Still to the upside. And you got back above the 20 moving average on the daily chart. Now, the daily, is much more superlative than that of the intraday and the hourly, whatever. And you just bounced off, literally, you just bounced off 20 moving average here. Let me blow this up. Y'all can see this here. See right here? You just bounced off 20 moving average right there. Clear as day. This was after the pullback from earnings. You got, right at the 20 moving average, a little bit below it. You kind of, had a little divot point with your wick there. You wicked out right at that little, point of support there to a degree. Mm-hmm. And then look what you did. Bounced. And like I said before, people are starting to get nervous again because of what? The mutations.
Right.
Imagine remember when it was at peak nervousness or peak fear last year when the virus was kicking butt, taking name before we even had all the other stuff. That's even for the South African strain and the European strain began to really. When you was at peak fear, they were buying up these Novavax, these Inovia, Sorrento, Vacinex. There's so many of them. We were trading so many of them. But the Pfizer and BioNTech, AstraZeneca, right? The household name, even Johnson when they came late. Johnson came late. Well, the reason why it's probably why the vaccine probably sucked. And I'm going to say that because some people don't want to talk the truth over here. But I'm going to say it, right? I ain't even going to lie to you on my channel. I'll let the other people go over there and lie to you, tell you that everything is equal. That's a lie. All vaccines are not equal. Stop letting people lie to y'all. They are not. They are not, right?
Sure.
All right? So let's not even play that game. And if you're coming over here thinking I'm finna lie, no, I ain't finna lie to kick it. They are not. So Johnson is garbage. It's trash. Yeah, it does have some fighting power in it, but it's garbage, right? That's like you putting 83 gas in your car when your car only takes 92 or 93 octane. What's going to happen? Right? It's going to be underperforming. I'm just leaving it at that.
Right? They don't perform, right?
What that Cat Williams said, that your car can't crank up. Hey, play with what you want. But either way, looking at these opportunities here, was you asked me that question over, Just my opinion, because it's a pure play on the vaccine because it don't have anything else to focus on. That's why Moderna and Novavax are kicking butt, taking names at this. Okay, let me just show and prove, right? I ain't got to sit and talk to you today. I'm just gonna show you. Pfizer just broke out, guys. Y'all know why? Because the consolidation level at the point where it was just kind of going sideways forever and not really doing a whole lot. See, right back here, we got notes on this. It was just kind of trending at 31, 35, 32 for longer. Just sitting there, just going sideways. Then you had a little breakout and pull back, right? Going into this year, and it was just kind of stuck. It was just stuck here, kind of trending, at around this point here. And then it had a little small breakout, got back to some points of, old high breakout points. And then it went kind of sideways, consolidated at the point around 38. But before that, the stock had just really went nowhere. Look at this. I'm going to show y'all. I ain't making this up. Look at Pfizer. Convince me how this stock, Pfizer, which been in the business for a long time, right? This is what they call been in the game for a long time, legacy stock that has a massive portfolio of companies that they bought up just over the year. Really good for its dividend, not necessarily really a growth stock. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it just broke out. Why? Because it's riding the coattail of who? Moderna,
yeah.
Clearly. All right. There's a need for their vaccine too, but again, I'm just saying people ain't really picking and choosing when they go, before the people to get their shot. Some people can, in my opinion, if I had the choice to say, hey, what y'all got in the house? Well, we got the Moderna vaccine, we got the Pfizer one, we got the Johnson Johnson. I'm like, go burn that Johnson Johnson one. Don't even come to me with that, right? Don't even waste time with that. If I am gonna play with y'all today, it's gonna be that Moderna one. That's the only one, right? But that's just the reality of this stuff, guys. So look, what I'm saying, and these here are not moving. I mean, this is good for the price point, but it's not going to be a big flyer banger like you would get out of Novavax and Moderna. Now, that's more riskier, of course. They're more risque at those price points of where they at in terms of Moderna. But that's really Wall Street speaking to y'all what they feel about it. That's not a Wall Street bet stock. Keep in mind, Moderna is not Wall Street bet stock. They'll trade it, but that's not none that they sit there focus on, right? Like an AMC or GameStop. This is big money, right? That trade Moderna, right? These people thinking in the future, right? So look at that. Just Genesis here, $20 a share. This is where it's at today, 480, 486. And that's every bit about 2 years. Let that marinate. 2 years. Crazy ain't over. Yep. And again, yeah, we expect pullbacks to happen. We ain't crazy. We're not euphoric investors over here where we say, everything going to the moon. We don't move in that dynamic. Y'all know we're responsible over here. But yeah, you're 100% right over Zane. We'll talk about Zane. Now you know better too, because you was with us during the time of the summer and the spring, and we were talking about these stocks, these vaccine plays. Because you've been on a couple panels, and we were like Moderna. I was like, man, buy the stock. Yeah, you should have bought it. You sure should have bought it over, because you definitely could have got it at around the price at that time. It was like $50-$60, right? $40, right? $40 a share, and yeah, man. But it happens. No big, whatever. And what's going on, brother Rashu? I see you in the building. Peace, power, property over. Right, but it is what it is. Of course, y'all know when I say that. These opportunities come around. Sometimes they say once in a lifetime, but it's always going to be something out there, right? That's what I love about the market. There's always something out there, right? You take, again, just, sidebar conversation. Sidebar. Beyond Meat. It's been in the funk lately. But guess what? We were in on Beyond Meat on IPO day. I had talked this stock up so much on IPO before even IPO. Y'all remember I was going crazy on Beyond Meat all day, every day. Right? Because y'all know that's part of my lifestyle, vegan lifestyle. I'll wait for something like this. Not, whether I use a product or don't. I'm just speaking about the idea of how markets may receive it. Right? So it IPO at around about $45 a share, somewhere around there. And the stock had to look back. Right? The closer it came, back towards the IPO price was back on this, back on the 20th of basically during the COVID scenario, right? COVID lows, right? That last time he got close to that IPO price. And still to date, we're talking about 1 year old company, a 1 year old company, literally. It turned 1 year old about 2 months ago, about a month and a half, let's say. It turned 1 year old as a company, publicly traded company, and the stock is still up over what? Dang near 200%. Let that marinate. Now at its peak point, it went up and hit like what? Dang near 240 something, right? It basically went up, what? Close to around about what? 600% in a matter of literally, 2 months. Y'all remember that? You probably remember that over Chris. We Joker riding that Gravy Valley biscuit wheel.
Yeah, when it first came out, that Joker ran.
We talking about dang that 600% in 2 months. Couldn't make this stuff up. And so now it's back to consolidating again, and the competition starting to heat up. They always say that when the competition gets in the ring, then guess what you're going to do? When Tyson Foods and blah, 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 this, okay, yeah. Granted, there's a lane for everybody. But to date, it's still up over what? Dang near 200%.
Still a good investment.
Still a good investment, right? And people say, well, can I get it cheaper? Possibly, right? You still have to be diligent in your studies to realize, what's fair value to you and your money, right? And then if you think of long term, you can't be the type of people that got what they call paper toilet hands, right? You got the toilet tissue, wet toilet tissue head. That's my new one. That's my new one. You got wet toilet tissue head, right? That thing extra weak. You forget about it. You ain't holding nothing. Right? You can't hold water, no secrets, no nothing, right?
This here, let's go.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about it from a place of if you feel comfortable about growth and evolution of products, right? Because we see these products come and go, right? We see trends come and go. But when you think about things that have what they call a use case that is yet to really capture, I should say, the broader consumer market, right? It's still somewhat in its early stages. Then you say to yourself, okay, I wonder what 5 years will look like, with this company, with the trajectory they're going now and their growth, right? 10 years from now, right? However you're looking at it from a goal perspective, right? A linear goal perspective. It's like, it becomes a thing where it's like, okay, this one here might not be a no-brainer here. This is a no-brainer, right? This is no-brainer. This one here, I might need to think about this. It depends on the company. This is still a burgeoning space. Think about it. It's still a burgeoning space. Now the competition is starting to build up. The minutia of the space is going to be relevant, to the ideal of whether you want, 100% soy or pea protein exposed to that. That's when the minutia come in. But ultimately, it's about supply chain. Who they can get their products, businesses they can get, pretty much what business they can get their product in. What restaurants, what grocery stores, again, it's about expansion, right? Because that equals more sales, right? And even with the cost of goods and food services going up right now because of inflation, right? I'm about to say but inflation, well, their margin value increases because they might have to go up a little extra. And there's still diehard people willing to pay that little extra because they want what they want because they have specialty diets. So that's how the game goes, right? But the competition, Impossible Burger, whatever, Gardenia, so many of them out there. But again, household name value, it's about who can get their name in everybody's mouth, right? Not just from the eating perspective, but just people talking about this product, right? Because that lifts, that's your basically the greatest form of advertisement is what, right? Your client, right? The customers, right? That's the best form of advertisement. And so these little assets like this, again, this is what we're just talking about. That you just got to be willing to stay the course. Now, again, this company is just a year and a month and a half old, right? It don't even seem like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just a year and a month and a half years old, so it's still young and fledgling. So yeah, at the point of how things are going, again, and it's in COVID environment, maybe it had not gone through COVID, it could have been still on the upward keel, but hey, it happens. But I'm just using it as a case study. So when you're thinking about things like that, that's how you want to formulate, your thesis, right? You want to say, okay, what's the use case? What's the competitive level look like? What's the competitors out there? Okay, what is the market saying, for such a product or service in this time right now? Is it cyclical or does it have a steady perspective of growth, based upon, this market, that market, this nation. You start factoring all those different things, those bullet points. Before you know it, you may have a nice little a little investment thesis on your hand.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you ask yourself, okay, we go through our little 4 questions, right? What, why, where, and when. You get through the what and the why. You start asking yourself then, where's a good place to get invested in that, and when should I go ahead and pull that trigger on it?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's all relevant, guys. You just got to be patient and trust your methodology of research the same way we do with everything else, and apply it to these particular scenarios that obviously has trend value. When I say trend value, meaning it's trending because of sector, because of brand, cultural norms, societal norms, and changes that are happening. Matter of fact, today, what was the most damning report that came out today? Did y'all see the news today? What was that damning report that came out today? It was a piece of news that came out today that was a damning block of data points. Now, whether you believe it or you don't, but it came out today, and it caused for a lot of pause. And some people would say that's why some of the market was down a little bit today on that too. It was a piece of newsreel that came out today. Anybody in the back chat may know. Anybody on the Facebook side of the house may know. What was that news that came out today? I actually posted, I think, on my Facebook too. Right? I get some cheating on, for anybody want to go look real quick. But it was a piece of news. Anybody?
Wasn't
And it was global news too. It wasn't just American news. It was global news. It was global news. Anybody?
was it about COVID? The vaccine?
Nah, that was one of them though. But this one here is a little bit more. It was a little bit more detailed, and it was like one of the reports. Like, oh man, this okay. All right. Because this one has a domino effect to it. This why what makes it great, and it's a gift and a curse to this report, I should say. Anybody want to take a stab at it on the YouTube side? Anybody caught that news this AM? There was some little damning news that came out. Global news too. Right? We know about oil market. We know about the gold dropping last night. But this was something different. Right? This was something a little different. All right? Matter of fact, let me run over here real quick. I know I posted it because I try to be trying to get that stuff out there when I see it. Let me see. Where is that? Or did I post it? I may not have posted on my Facebook or something. Oh man, let me see. I didn't.
Global, right?
Yeah, well, global news too. Yeah, I didn't even. I thought I did. God dog it. Or did I post it in the? No, I don't know if I said that. I might have posted in the group. I might not have, but anyway, it was all over like everybody's news publication, right? Everybody posted on it. And I'm not lying. I said that everybody was posting on it because they were like, "Okay, this is crazy," right? Yeah. So this made what they call some hefty news, right? All right. Let me see. Is it a shortage? I gonna look. All right. Yeah. What's that little girl from Germany? Greta. What her name? Greta. That was going around the world. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Greta. Oh, I don't
The
know.
little girl that taking all these little meme selfies that everybody was kind of going.
Oh, no,
Actually, Trump went in on her. I don't know if y'all remember that. Trump went in on her, and they tried to crucify him about like, how dare you go in on a little teenage girl, and she got a call. She got the little calls that she stand behind.
Shoot, I don't even remember.
Global warming.
Oh, I didn't say anything about that. Dang.
It was a massive report came out today on global warming. Massive.
Oh, well, I've been gone from the house anyway, so I thought, let me check CNBC.
It was like people like, oh man, and because it fit the narrative of what? Clean energy, what?
Yeah, the infrastructure bill.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Oh shoot, it's right here.
You see
Okay.
it, it's all over. Climate, NASA, like APN News, like they went crazy. It's UN, and this is UN. Now it wasn't just the ideal of uh uh you know it being kind of national, whatever. But again, it reaffirms the ideal of what? The ideal of clean energy, the need for it. And
Yeah.
so this is, like, okay, fossil fuels. Well, what's really causing it? Because they're going to blame it on fossil fuels, right? The same way
Yep.
people that blaming the spread of COVID on what? People ain't been vaccinated as opposed to those who've been vaccinated. We know that's a whole bunch of malarkey. That's a
Yep.
lie, right? Matter of fact, people with the vaccine spread it more than the people who don't have it, right?
Right.
The false sense of security. But, they going to spin the narrative. They're going to try to popularize the ideal or the demonize. Y'all know the media work. The media is garbage.
Right.
Some stuff they got to report because the data just speaks for itself. And that's stuff that they can't spin, right? No matter how they try.
Well, shoot, no wonder I couldn't see it. All they doing is posting about Kumo and his name sexual harassment case.
Right. You see what I'm saying? All that garbage. Like, man, get that
Yeah.
mess out of here, right? We know he old, he old freaky deaky, whatever. Right? All the
Yeah.
old jokers is.
Yeah.
All right. But listen, again, the UN, and then, it was backed by other independent scientists too. Warned of a worsening global warming, right? And
Mm-hmm.
again, this report came out early too. So again, the idea whether they want to say it's real or it's not, because y'all know the IPCC is one of the climate report authoritative agencies that report on this stuff.
Right.
And you still got other well known scientists or people who report on this stuff as well. But this report was damning, right? People are like, oh man, this is crazy, right? So who does that benefit? Again, clean energy initiatives, right? Then it further, drives the axe in the back of what? The fossil fuel guys. That's why the oil market sold off this morning too, guys.
Makes sense.
See how this stuff works? Connect those dots. See, you connect those dots, you see, okay, this is what, oh man. And we talking about oil was down like at the low around about what, 4%? That's a lot for the oil market. Look at the WTI. Matter of fact, let's run over here real quick. Look at the WTI. Right, the crude Brent oil and WTI, those COMEX contracts, those put contracts were just like, man, banging, right? And then you look at the publicly traded ones, Gush, Drip, all those type, Diamond Energy, whatever the pure play, Chevron, those things obviously, are definitely reflective of it too, right? Look over here real quick. Look at oil, crude oil, WTI. It 2%. It's oil market closed now, of course, right? But took a beating, right? Took a beating, right? Look where it was at the lows. The lows, this thing was down around about 65. Like I said, down about 3-4% today.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Keep in mind, that's a lot for the oil market.
There you
you know,
go. Right.
Go ahead. Oh, you're breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Y'all can hear you now. Go ahead.
I said they go by ticks, right?
Yeah, kind of like on the forex side because you kind of doing that that same kind of the market makers on that side of the house,
Yeah.
right? Because you're dealing with a commodity, and so it's the lows. I mean, you look at the lows here. I mean, you was trending down here around 65.34. I mean, just the massive just dump here. Look at that dump right there.
Yeah.
Just gave it up. You know what I'm saying?
Gave up the go.
Gave it up. So it's like small little comeback retracement. That's just people trying to buy the dip. Right? They played this double bottom, base or triple bottom here. They played this triple bottom bounce. Got a little favorable action with that. They're trying to get off the low because again, the next leg is what going lower. If it don't get back above some key levels of resistance support. Now the catch up trade is on the what? All the strength is on the what? On the bulls. They got to prove themselves. Right?
To prove.
They got to prove themselves. Barron's like, yeah, bring it. Right? Hey, So that report was the reason why oil sold off, and it was a reason why clean energy stocks broke out. If you watch a pre-market this morning, everything was up pre-market. Ford, fuel cell, a lot of those blink. Charge point, all the companies were just banging. Matter of fact, let's run over and look at a couple of them real quick here. Right? They were banging, and so this was to me, I was like, okay. Tesla gonna have a breakout. Keep in mind, they had just released the news over the weekend that they what? Gonna delay the what? The Cybertruck, right? Into the end of the year, beginning of next year, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? Y'all know smart money already knew that. Why? Because Elon spoke about that early in the year. If y'all remember the first earnings call they had for Q1,
Yeah.
he was like, hey, just let you know, Cybertruck may be end of this year, maybe beginning of 2022, right? Because we trying to figure out how we can get the price, cost of the metal and all this stuff down. Keep in mind, he's trying to make a bulletproof truck. Now, how you going to manufacture that for everyday users like me and you? Because y'all know one thing about Elon, he's like, he's very dogmatic minded when it comes to what? Solving problems, right? He going to figure out a way to do it. If he say it, he going to try to do it. And a lot of these analysts are scared of him now. Not before they used to pick on him, because they're like, he ain't going to make these targets. He ain't going to make this happen. And then Elon will go out there with proven wrong, right? Now just looking like, man, look, if he's saying that, yeah, we might want to give him what? Give him that leeway now, because he know what to talk about at this point. The man then sent stuff into space right now on his hobby money. His hobby money, he whooping NASA, he whooping Russia, he whooping everybody on the planet with his hobby money. Now, who gonna bet against that? Right?
Who would?
Think about that, right? You definitely have to be, lost your mind to do that. Not saying that he don't make mistakes and won't make mistakes, but Wall Street don't really care about all that. They care about future what? Forward perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all they care about. So fuel cell got a bump today. Look here. Hello, fuel cell. I've been waiting to get back in fuel cell. Right? You hit the lows at about 590. Today, you got finally back over the 20-day moving average. As you see that clearly here, it needs to close above it. I repeat, it needs to close above that 20-day moving average here on the daily chart to remain bullish. Right? And you got the infrastructure bill waiting. You're still waiting in the wing. Right? So, again, this is not investment advice. This is just my opinion. My disclaimer is down in my description box below. Go read it, right? But anybody that knows investing and trading, anytime a stock been selling off like this after having that kind of peak to trough move, right? Right? Look at this peak to trough move, right? Peak to trough, right? You kind of bottom out at a point of support. You got some areas right here support. Look to your left. You see where it's going on here. You say to yourself, okay, yeah, all right. That was your little gap right there. 540? You got down to like 590 something. Anybody look at that and say, okay, this thing was kind of left for dead. You can get some price action out of it now. Now, will it go back to $30, in short order time frame? Who knows, right? That ain't me for desire. I'm thinking long term, because why? We just read the global warming report. Go read it if you haven't read it too. Matter of fact, if you're into that kind of stuff, I'm into nerd stuff like that. Right, go read that global warming report. It made a lot of different news headlines. Reuters, everybody was posted on it. And then think about the need where everybody moving towards the clean energy initiatives, right? 2030, 2050, EVs, 2025, right? Everybody from all around the planet, not just America, but the planet. That says a lot about why the need for these kind of plays are going to be superlative in the future. You got to have the patience and the paper to sit through it. Right? And realize, what's the use case here? Am I early? Am I late? Well, the stock, when it first got wind that it was going to be a part of something like this, what did the stock do? The thing went from like $1 and change. It was at 48 cents, literally November 2019. It got up towards $1 during the end of 2019, got above the 200 moving average here, around about $2.25 around the beginning of the year. COVID happened. The thing pulled all the way back to like $1, back to $1 again. And then from that point, it ran all the way up to $30 a share. So it went from $1 to $30 a share. Y'all know how much that is in terms of percentage gain?
Woo.
That happened in a matter of 1 year. It went up 3,000%. A 30 bagger. It went up 3,000% in 1 year. Literally 1 year.
I remember you was talking about it too. Fuel cell, plug.
And think about it, we were talking about them last year, 2020. You remember over Chris? Yeah. We ID'd all these stocks, charge point plugs, all of them. Blink, man, we went over all these stocks. We had lists of them, like all the EV plays. If Biden win the president, remember that? If Biden,
yep.
That's way back in the spring and the summer.
Mm-hmm.
That thing went from $1 to $30. That was 3,000% in 1 year. Again, I'm just asking. Right, this is a point where you just look sideways. I'm just asking somebody to show me where you can make 3,000% in about a year in any bank account.
No job or no bank account finna give you that type of return on your money.
Right? We just scratch our head waiting like somebody prove me and show me, because yeah, about that, right?
Facts.
Right? I'm sitting around like, yeah, okay, right, all right.
Go improve.
You know how we roll. We hit you with that, get you gonna have to show us, right?
Right.
Like, hold up, did my internet? You see, hold up, my thing went out. Is this thing showing?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, I want to make sure I ain't frozen over here on. Y'all can see my YouTube side, right?
Yeah. Oh.
They said it went out. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay. Yeah, internet kind of went out and came back in. Like, hold up, man, what happened? Okay, yeah, it's showing there. Yeah, okay.
Oh, we ain't saying nothing bad about Biden, man. Don't kick us off.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get to going in, but Joker be like, hold up, cut his feet. Mic check.
All right. All right. Still live in full effect.
Okay, yeah, I'll sit back. Okay. Yeah, it went out and came back in. Okay. I was like, man, why this thing tripping? All right, so just wanted to make sure. All right, so yeah, so again, that's you know, um, you know, when we're thinking about things, of course, this is how you formulate your thesis, right? This is how you formulate the idea, right? Because y'all know we known for finding the ace in the hole. We known for finding a little, little off the beaten path play, and we just bang it out, right? But we didn't talk about so many different plays as of last year with COVID. Man, we got scores of videos that we did of all types of stock. Microvision. Microvision was trading at what, 70, 80 cents, somewhere around there, some crazy number. It went up over 20 some odd dollars a share. It's people that, write me to their email like, man, appreciate that call on Microvision. They got in at the early price when we were breaking it down, going over their fundamentals, and they sat through that thing. That thing went over to like 20 some odd dollars a share, 23, $24 a share.
Yeah.
To change their whole bank account, right? That kind of stuff, right? That's the kind of stuff I get excited about because I like, man, see, teamwork makes the dream work. People got to be willing to realize that. See, everything outside your house is trying to get money out your pocket. They're trying to take money out your pocket. You need to realize how do you take money out of theirs, right?
Yep.
You ain't gonna be able to do that trying to outwork them on the time clock. Now, ain't nothing wrong with that, getting a job with, but you ain't gonna be able to whoop them on that level. You gotta learn how to 2-3 money they behind, right? You need to learn how to, play chess and not check it. So again, when we think about asset ownership, again, real estate, business, entrepreneurial endeavors as a whole, whatever, angel investing, whatever, equity investing, you need to be in things that appreciate. You need to be in things that appreciate. Simple as that. Right? And least path of resistance to get you there. I mean, in fact, to the degree where you don't have to deal with a whole lot of middlemen to get you to that point A to point B. This is direct to market. At the most basic layman terms, investing in any asset is direct to market. Why? Because as long as you got credentials, you have access to the global markets at your fingertips. Straight to Apple, straight to Tesla, straight to whoever, and get to a bag. So again, it's crazy, right? So again, FuelCell, Blink, ChargePoint, all these little stocks like that are waking up. Why? Because number one, we knew that at some point when they got close to this infrastructure bill, that these stocks were really gonna start getting a boost. Joe Biden's starting to kind of really go in a little bit now. He's trying to really protect those the Rust Belt side of the EV side. As of today, Detroit side of the house, Ford and GM, all those guys, right? Because everybody know, asking questions why he didn't invite Elon Musk to that, that EV package unveiling that he did. Well, we know what that's about. That's him being political, right? He's a dirtbag for that. Truly he is, right? Because he's the world's leader and it's an American company. How you don't invite the world leading EV company to that, event? Straight hate, right? That's because, y'all know Elon Musk, he don't like the union scenario, right? Whatever, tomato. As an investor, I let them deal with that on the bureaucratic side. We just see, what we need to see: production value, growth, evolution of a ubiquitous product that's going to overtake a lot of the world, because that's where everybody moving. Clean energy initiative. The global warming report, just reaffirms it. You see what I'm saying? It makes it even more of like, okay, I'm not finna push back against that. Even if you still like gas, guzzling cars, whatever, muscle cars, whatever. But in the day, those things are going to be what they are. They're going to be collectors, right? They're not going to be the average everyday scenario that's going to be on the road, 10 years from now, 15 years, 20 years from now, right? Those cars will be slowly fading off the grid, right? Meaning, average cars you're going to see on the road. So, yeah, as they say, get down and lay down. That's just the name of the game, right? That's how evolution has its place, right? Think about when people came off the horse, right? Man, I ain't gonna give up my horse, man. Just gonna pass by you a little buggy with some wheels on it, pop up, pop up. Like, hold up, bro, I ain't gonna get rid of my horse, not Becky Jane. That's my horse. You get out there and try to ride Becky Jane down Interstate 285 in Atlanta. Good luck with that. You ran horse chops all across the highway, boy. One of them shot gonna come through there with them real donks, a real donk.
Long denied.
Okay, you gonna have horse ankles all over the highway. Talking about you gonna get rid of your horse. All right, get it on out there you want to on the highway.
Yeah, it ran the hell over
with the quickness. So this is just the aspect of evolution. So again, we're just trying to keep up what they call get in where we fit in. As simple as that, right? So these assets, these stocks, these opportunities are, again, to me, they're like, this stuff is, it's almost like, okay, they just giving you a birthday present, years in advance, a year in advance. Like, here's your present. Your birthday was a week ago. We're going to give you one for your next year. We're going to give it to you, today. They're literally giving it to you, right? But you have to be patient, conscious, and aware of what's going on, and understand the nature of evolution, how it works in terms of innovation, technology, societal changes, how that stuff works, because of we be forced into a scenario like that, or it's just out of pure forward thinking, right? Because markets are what? A forward thinking mechanism. That's what they are. It's a speculative environment. But it's a lot of your everyday products that you use anyway. Discretionary staples, materials, energy, healthcare, you name it, right? Finances. Technology it's everything that your life is made up and comprised of. Why not be an investor in it? You use the product, you use the service religiously. They got all your money on the margin side, but you ain't getting none of it on the investment side back. What's wrong with that picture?
everything.
It's like, we got to use it, right? We got to use it, or we're gonna lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're right, brother Rich B. Yeah, and they have to, we're gonna keep doing our part. We're gonna find your honey holes, and we're gonna keep fishing. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna keep finding the stock, and we're gonna benefit, right? Because that's just the reality thing. You got to be able to use it now. You no more playing games. Nobody sitting there, pontificating and pandering all day, the whole lot of stuff that ain't gonna yield income at this point, dog. That stuff is fine. It has its place. But at the end of the day, we need to get serious about getting our bags right. Right? We got to get our money up. Right? These people are up the game on inflation. They up the game on cost of living. Then they up the game in terms of what they signify as what they say comparable value of workforce environment, meaning robots finna overtake a lot of your stuff. AI finna put you on the couch, right? And if you ain't controlling it, writing codes or being a part on that side, what you gonna have? You got to retool yourself, get a whole new different trade, a different job structure. Look, you got to find ways to keep what money coming in, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask people every day, what's, again, least path of resistance to get you in the game? It's not even a debate. What you do with it once you get in, well, that's on you. That determines your performance value. But you have to be a student of the game. You have to realize that you're just as much capable as a person sitting down at Wall Street right now. Why? Because you buy these products and services. You've been buying them for years religiously. You've seen the cost of these products go up over time. That wasn't by accident or coincidence. You was a part of inflation. You was a part of the cost of living expansion value. You have to keep up. These assets, again, I'm just saying, use them for a change. Use them for a change, right? So Fuel Cell and many others, Tesla, all them. Look, y'all get it. Tesla and banged out so much today. Just the idea is crazy, right? Meaning, when we look at Tesla at $200 a share before the split, and it ran, high 180s actually, 200, all that 300 thing went to $2,500. Now it's trending back around with like 747, I think like 714. I think where's that today. But again, you still talking about a stock that has a massive runway still. Why? Because the future is still bright, right? The future is still bright for that asset.
Mm-hmm.
It's still young, basically. They've yet to get to a million cars produced. Wait till when they get to a million cars produced, it's crazy. They already got hypersonic travel, right? Hypersonic travel going to be where they can fly you basically from one end of the earth to the next in about what, hour, 2 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who gonna compete against that? They're gonna make the aircraft do it. Now, what's crazy about it, he can virtually integrate everything and then start his own airport. He don't have to even share that technology with Delta, Southwest, British Airways, United Arab Emirates. He ain't gotta share that with nobody.
He got all the leverage.
He got all the leverage. I mean, y'all better go do your own. Better go R&D your own. Y'all doing all them buybacks and buying executive bonus. Y'all should have been innovating. That's y'all fault.
Mm-hmm.
Got him. Right?
Right?
He could be that kind of person if he want to. It's endless, right? Jokers don't even have no clue how deep the rabbit hole really goes, right? But we're going to keep doing our part, and we're going to stay hungry, right? Look at Tesla. Look at that breakout. We done mapped this thing to the T.
Mm-hmm.
We call the falling wedge there. We got a breakout above that. Now you back into another channel, right? And people are like, oh, we're going to drop below 650 now or 660, 680 now because we broke, pull back today, got back to 697. So we got to be going back. Man, look, these people greedy. All I'm going to say, these people greedy at Wall Street. Man, look at that.
They want what they want.
They won't. Look at that. They ain't going to let nobody get in the way of stuff. All you see right there is a what? What is that right there? What pattern is that right there? Flag. You're just flagging again. You broke out, consolidate, now you're flagging again. You got to get above, obviously, the 720 area. Get above 720. You could talk some trash. They get above 720. It's still in a long bull flag, either way you look at it. Either way you look at Tesla here, it's still in the long bull flag.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's just growth. Now, again, let's put some perspective on it, right? Put some respect on Tesla's name. Let's go way back when it was way down here. Now, this is, again, post the split. It's showing $35 here, but at that point, it was around about $1. It's going $1, but 100 somewhere around there, give or take. $200 somewhere around there. And then it's just crazy gains, crazy gain, crazy gains here. Literally about $200, off the all-time high, and it's consolidating again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
did you go the AI day on August 19th?
The 19th, right? I was gonna say that one for late in the week, right? That way it can be fresh on people's brain. But y'all know I've been posting about it like forever, and that's why I said if y'all hanging out. I don't know who y'all hanging out with, but y'all might want to be. And they said, you don't want the producer screaming all over your record. You might want to come over to Death Row.
Yeah.
Cause we ain't gonna be screaming all over the look at. No, we go to work over here. Right? So we were already AI day months ago, but definitely, as we get closer, we start to kind of, start formulate our thesis. Why? Because we need to kind of analyze where we're at today, right? How do we plan, for that particular event? If it's going to be a bottom rumor settle news or, whatever, right? We did it with the earnings. We did it with a lot of other plays. We we front run the opportunity in that perspective, right? So AI day is on the 19th. You say to yourself, okay, this is like the world has never seen something like this outside of what they call a National Science Symposium dealing with artificial intelligence, right? Let that marinate. This is a public traded company that's going to put on an AI day to the likes of that of people at MIT, Harvard, all your brainchild universities that deal with AI on a daily basis for student scenario. This is a publicly traded company that's going to go out and put out a day where they're going to show you some stuff that, man, look, MIT going to be like, man, they bought their life over there, right? A publicly traded company. The scientists that Elon Musk and the engineers that Elon Musk have on his payroll, these some bad jokers, boy. These jokers bad. And so I'll say this one little thing that we're going to talk about later in the week, though. What's going on over Brandon? Peace, power, and profit to you.
Peace over Chris. Peace over AE.
You got it. Mm-hmm.
You hilarious. You said this death row.
This death row here, bro. This death row, bro. You don't want nobody screaming all over your album and jumping up and down in plastic suits and all. What did he say?
Right.
What did he say? I forgot.
You don't want to Jim Cramer all on your back.
Right.
Jump over the death row.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
In the videos, man.
Right.
Dancing all in the videos, right? No, we're gonna work over here on our side, bro. Right? We make it make sense.
Definitely. No, like I was looking at Tesla. If it hits or if it reaches back to 782.61, it's definitely shooting for 900.
Oh,
Fills that gap.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yep. You see those levels here. Y'all see those levels here, right? Y'all see exactly what Over saying in and around those area. That's lights on. That's what they call it. Lights on, mask. What's it? Lights on, mask on, move silent, right? It's gonna be game on time, right? And the consolidation here is just no more but an extension of what we already see coming down the pipeline in terms of the timeline efficiency, right? What do you mean by that? I mean, the infrastructure bill is taking a while, but it's coming along. That's more of what fuel to the fire. The EV credits, see, that's what everybody waiting to get. Now, India, y'all know that was big news today for Tesla. What did the nation of India do today? Y'all might have saw that news reel about India. India is considering the ideal of what? Allowing the EV tax credit scenario to be a part of the infrastructure. They need it, right? They deal with pollution bad over there. And their pollution ain't necessarily from cars. It's from what? Rickshaws and motorcycles. They got it bad. They still a fledgling emerging market, right? If Tesla can get into India, now there's some money over there too. Don't get it twisted, right? They just don't show how that, but it's some money over there. Because Tesla's trying to get into India, it's no secret. And India's already discussing the idea of what? The EV credit scenario. Matter of fact, let's show you the news thing. It should be on here. Pretty sure it is. We know about the upgrade came today. We know about the upgrade. Jeffries upgraded them today. Where that insight on? Let me see here. Where that news reel at? Mass. Okay, analyst upgrade. Blah blah blah. They might not have it in this one here, but it made the news on other publications. Basically, India is thinking about allowing EV tax credits, which obviously going to help them attract businesses there to want to provide them with a path to clean energy, right? So that was another added fuel boost to Tesla, along with the upgrade that came. Because everybody saw the upgrade today. Jeffries upgraded them to 850. And why did this upgrade matter more than some of the other ones in the past? Why? Because Jeffries has been one of the biggest bears against Tesla. They were waiting, giving them all kind of grief about the business model in terms of the things that Elon was saying, and they finally came around. Keep in mind, this was just almost a year ago. A year ago, Jeffries had them at I think a hold or a sell or a hold and a low price target, and they just flipped the script and said they finally woke up and drunk the Kool-Aid. They finally woke up and drunk the Kool-Aid. And so that's why it's moving today. And amongst many other things that like I said, we talk about the global warming, EV credits with India, the EV package scenario with Biden, whatever. But the stock again is still in catch out in the catch out zone. Now that's one calls into today, right? Because they had kind of hit that oversold pullback Friday, on terms of the intraday scenario, right? I say okay, tech got beat up there because of what? We know why that happened, because of what? The job number, right? Yep. That caused it 10-year yield to run, right?
Yep, the bonds up. The
bonds ran, tech came down, so all of them kind of got hit in their own little way. So it wasn't necessarily just Tesla. Tesla's still trying to hold a major level of support because we get it. We want us to stay above 700, especially going into AI day. So it's just more reason for the bulls to show up and say, well, if they really want that life, let's see. So I took my position based upon that thesis and that thesis alone, and I got rewarded. Right, got a nice little reward on that contract. Cost me like $2, like $2.20-$2.30 somewhere around there. I end up 100% that play. I got 100% on that contract, so doubled my money basically. And so the stock still looks good here. Again, just based upon those things, factors going into the rest of the week. We'll see how things unfold. The COVID thing is back on the table. Just be cautious out there. Don't just trust anything. But again, a lot of things are working for the EV space than not, right? If I was to say that, right? So that's positive. That's a net positive for the overall space. I will say that, right? So again, now you got other things to look at. Like I said, we talked about fuel cell. We talked about Blink. Well, we didn't talk about Blink, but Blink charging. They got a pump today. Look what it did today, right? It got back above the 20-day moving average. Couldn't make this stuff up, right? Charge point, right? Another one on the EV space that's going to benefit on the Joe Biden. Look at that. Look what it did today. 23 up near 25 and change, near 26. Nice little bump up. I mean, there's a lot of them out there like that too. So these are little plays like that. Just look what they was. They had all random and hit their little heyday. All their charts look about the same. Look at it. If I overlay charge point, Blink, fuel cell, all their charts look about the same.
Yeah.
Couldn't make this stuff up. Right? Plug. It's a little different breed, but it's about the same scenario. I really love Plug, personally. Right?
Yeah.
Look what it is. Same way. Right? You see our little support point there. Kind of got my little line drawn there. We got back above 20-day moving average here. Now we kind of wind staking it a little bit. Now we back above it ever so slightly. Definitely if it closes above it, on the day, intraday, that's going to definitely be nice and bullish. And we get back above the 20 moving average here, sitting up here around about 29.80. That's definitely another bullish signal. So all these charts look the same. Couldn't make this stuff up. So I'm like, throw a dart. Throw your dart at the board. Choose you one, right? Of course, do your research, but I say that. But eventually, all the losses that they're incurring now, all this stuff going to start bounce out when all this infrastructure goes into play to backstop all this, this new innovation coming from Tesla and Ford and GM and all these charging stations and need for better fuel cell production and man, look, I could talk to him blue in the face, and I'm not. I need to go and get me lunch. I'm late lunch, right? But these opportunities are here. So when people ask, like, how do you be finding these plays? How do you come up with this stuff? I'm walking you through it in layman terms. Mm-hmm. Literally layman terms, where the person that may not know nothing about what we talk about, they understand to a degree exactly what I'm saying just by me making it make sense. And then they can go do the research and see the rest.
Right.
Right? So this is what we say when we are, we're avid, in our ability, avid in our research and our methodology, and seeing and using basic everyday news that everybody has access to. We don't get any special privileged news that nobody else don't get. Right? Think about that. They got the same cell phones that most of us, if not better. They can get a chance to get the same news that we get, and yet that stuff they bypass that, go straight to the tabloid stuff. I guess I don't know what. I ain't harping on what sports stuff. I don't know. I'm like, man, look, where that money at? Well, what's shaking on the money tree today? That's what I'd be looking for, right? Mm-hmm. What them news headlines that's gonna move the market day, so I can get me a bag off of it.
Facts.
I use my smartphone the way I'm supposed to. Now it's really a smartphone. I got a I can honestly say I have a smartphone, right? Because I use it for smart things, right? To edify, my bank account and my knowledge bank, my knowledge repository for that reason. So this stuff ain't going over y'all head. You just got to have the interest in it. You got to have the interest to drive you to want to get better, to learn, to be on top of this stuff, so you can canvas it better, so you can find any plays, right? And I end on this one here, right? Y'all know this our little baby. It's been up and down. It's gonna be all over the place. It's trying to balance itself out. It's banging out a little bit. Yeah. I mean, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm just, hint, wink, wink. This is not investment advice. This is just my opinion, right? This is educational purposes. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Mm-hmm. Boy. But Rich Pryor, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I ain't lying, Junior. But that thing, they're looking nice. Boy, look at that chart right there.
Starting to percolate.
Boy, I'm talking about that thing. Pop, 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 pop. Whenever you be cooking that gravy get the percolator popping in there. You can hear it percolating, pop, pop, pop. But that gravy sounding good. But you know it's about time to eat then, boy. Like dinner getting close, boy. Dinner getting close.
Yeah, that's a beautiful trend right there, man.
Boy, look at that chart right there. God, dog. Boy. Are we talking about how much it is for a share of that right there over Brandon? Oh, where you over? Yeah, over Brandon. Probably. Wait, how much a share for that right there over Chris? How much one share cost you?
5 cents.
Say that again.
5 cents.
Say it with your chest over.
5 cents, and you can find it in the couch somewhere, on the ground somewhere. You can find 5 cents.
In your chain drawer, in your J's, you stash some change off in your J's. Yeah. You can find
sock cabinet.
Your sock cabinet. Look at him. Even the sisters, you got a little chain pouch in the Brazil. It just jingling. Jingling. Tell me, Jokers. Look, all right, Jokers, man, look.
Hey, make this up, y'all.
I'm just saying, everybody that took that position is up well over 200-300% right now. Everybody that, when we make that call on this play right here at 00, it was at 005, 006.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody right now over 300-400%.
Yep.
And the party just getting hush your mouth, bro. You don't want jugger. Woo, Gina. Nigga. We way back here. Y'all know that's my entry price. I got it up there. Just for timestamp. I'm in that 0005. Even though TD Ameritrade round me up to 0006 because of that ticker symbol saying them dirty. Boy, I want. But, watch your mouth, Shaft. I'm about to cuss him out, but all right. That's all right. But guess what? Look, the lockup period, I'll just say this, the lockup period ended on Saturday. That was the 10 days on the was that the 14-1 filing or the quiet period where they turned over the custodianship from Jeffrey DiNazio obviously over to the new ownership, right? Which is next week's. Now the conundrum is it going to be way back burgers or is it going to be next meat? Next meat's limited, right? The limited holding company that they're going to potentially DBA offer next week is going to be the company that's going to be over all the operations. All right. So over way back burgers Asia, next meat holdings to get their products into the United States by way of, the idea of having a publicly traded company. Here's where it gets good. They're trying to be listed on the NASDAQ.
Ooh.
Not the OTC market. They're trying to get listed on the NASDAQ. The money that comes along with being on the NASDAQ alone. Now, we talked about Beyond Meat earlier, right? That's why I'm ending on this, right? There's always the method of my madness. Competitive value to Beyond Meat. As we know today, people are going to obviously say Impossible Burgers. Now, there's another one coming in the wing, too. I'm waiting. I ain't want to drop that one too soon, but I'm going to go on and hint, wink to y'all right now. I'm going to throw y'all a one. Now, they haven't really said they're going to go public just anytime soon, but they working on it. But they are a big market, and they got some billionaire investors backing them already. And y'all done already seen their products, too. In the grocery stores, in some restaurants. I eat the product every now and then, right? Y'all seen this? Y'all heard of a company called Just Egg?
Who?
Just Egg. If y'all can do me so kindly right now, pull it up on your smartphone, your laptop, computer, whatever you own right now. Pull up a company called Just Egg. Now I got others too. I'm gonna speak about because there's one that I told y'all I'm gonna drop on y'all. Another one I'm working in the project. This ain't the one though. This ain't it. This is the sidebar to the vegan market. But I want y'all to pull up Just Egg. Right?
Oh, okay.
Pull up Just Egg. If you got it, let me know. Everybody on the YouTube side, pull up Just Egg on your smartphone, wherever you own.
Got it.
Right? And I want y'all to follow this company going forward if you can. Just put a little, little asterisk by, or put it on your little you know, in your web browser and star it or whatever, bookmark it.
I'm
And I want
gonna
y'all to
follow him on Twitter.
definitely follow him on Twitter. And the owner, this is one owner. He's just one guy named Josh, young guy. He. All I'm gonna say is
The Nasdaq following them. New York Stock Exchange following them. Oh man, they must be big time.
he got several products in the work, right? Because this was the only company ever out there able to find a plant-based item to produce the scramble mock egg, right? At this level, 100% ours in that perspective. Soy free,
Oh man.
cholesterol free. So they got a soy free egg, scrambled egg, and it's 100% plant based. They use mung bean, right? It's a mung bean, kind of like how people use pea protein. It's a mung bean, right?
Yeah.
And they got offshoot products that they kind of make too. They got and here's where what's gonna make them a banger. Why? Because they also gonna have the hybrid market, like Tyson Food. They going into the hybrid market. Now this is where it get a little Frankensteinish. Now I don't eat that stuff on that side of the house, but they are doing what they call the cell structure meat protein incubator scientific project, where they're gonna take
Yeah.
basically cells from a chicken and grow the meat in the lab without the chicken. Cells
Uh-oh.
from a cow, grow the meat. If they want to get into the meat, they're doing chicken right now. But they want to do the cow, they'll do it the same way. Carbon footprint, zero. Essentially, no methane, obviously with the cows, no bacteria issues, all that with chickens, no live, footprint, having, space, for that. All this stuff gonna be grown in the silo in the lab somewhere, right on people, table that want to eat it, if they want to eat that, right? I just met with the egg. That's the only one I met with. But that's the hybrid of the business. How big is that market on a capitalistic side? Anybody? How big is that market?
That market is huge.
Yep, over Zane. They got the eggless mayo, right? Eggless mayo, man. And I got, matter of fact, again, y'all know I got a box up in the freezer right now, right? Them egg patties, cause I didn't know more egg patties. Look, got my little spelt toast, got my little vegan mayonnaise, right? Which is just basically, use avocado oil, right? Emulsify it a little bit, add a little sea moss to it. You can emulsify that way. You can make your own mayo, because we do avocado mayo over here a lot. But this is healthy, right? But I'm just showing you, man, these people, look, they thinking exactly where I told you where this, a lot of this stuff is going. Same way people didn't think the EV market was going to catch up to fossil fuels this fast. Well, guess what the plant-based market going to do? Convince me that it ain't going to catch up when people already mad about how they treat animal cruelty. All these people going crazy about the animals too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, hate, like, love it, and indifferent to it. That's not me for me to judge anybody what they do and what they eat. All I'm saying is, when it comes to the money, I by trade and profession, I've been told to follow the what?
Money.
Say it with your chest, over.
Follow the money.
Over Brandon, what are we trained to do? Follow the money. Y'all know this stuff. Everybody the bad shit, y'all know this stuff. So our biases, we don't have any, right? We don't have biases like that. We have preferences, but we don't have biases when it comes to ideal of, our investment thesis, right? So I'm just saying, that's a little hint, wink, wink. They got some billionaire investors already on the map. They in different countries already. Eventually, they're going to come to market. There aren't no companies like that, listed as publicly traded that deal in that specific value of egg, this, that, and the third. Next Meats have their own specific stuff too. That's the company that we're talking about with. So I'm going to give y'all that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give y'all that one, and then I'm going to get off here real quick. Now, this is the one that we actually are intertwined in, right? We are, whatever, right? Oh, I wasn't even sharing my screen. I'm sitting there showing that same thing. My bad, guys. My mistake, family. 1 second. All right, let's go. Next Meats here. Next Meats.
Mm-hmm.
right? Y'all see this right here? Next Meats Company Ltd. That part right there. See right there what we up today? 18% today. Why is it going up? Well, we know why it's going up. Because they get ready to do what? The quiet period is up. We already know next meet is on the what? The form filing, or the S1, well, the
Mm-hmm.
S4, excuse me, and the 14.1 alpha. I think that's the one. We waiting on the AK. All we're doing is right now we're waiting on the AK form. What is the AK form? An AK form is a what? Administrative update form that says there's any kind of updates, terms of management, terms of ownership, stuff like that. So 8K, if you're not familiar with the 8K form, I'm gonna post y'all go Google on that, get your little homework in. Anytime you say 8K form, that's let me say it like that because I know my Florida language. 8K. We're waiting on the 8K form. It can come any day now. That form come, look, all I'm saying is two stocks we know off top gonna bang when that form come. It's speculative, but we know. Next NXMH, NXMH, and then what? CPSL, Catapult Solutions. It's all but a shoe in now that it's going to be next meets company that's going to be over CPSL. The conundrum was it going to be Wayback Burger? There's already a Wayback Burger ticker, but it's a holding company. Was they going to merge it into that? Or were they going to use this company because the share structure, it has so many outstanding shares, they could use it as a holding company and deviate off those other ones, and so they can have their own little thing like Wayback Burgers, whatever. So as of to date, my research leans me to the idea that they're going to come in on the Next Meets Limited. So it's going to be the holding company for all of Next Meets what? Operation. That's why they want to be able to list it on what? The NASDAQ. Because they'll have an expansive, in the future, however, portfolio underneath Next Meets Limited in America so they can canvas the Wayback Burger scenario. Obviously in Asia as well. And when they want to get their products into American stores, Whole Food, whatever, y'all get it. I'm just, giving y'all the paraphrase version. This is the microwave version, right? Pause. No pun intended. Use the microwave. Don't use it, right? But anyway, that's what's going on here. So any day now, we're waiting on that AK form to drop. It's all but, done deal. So Next Meets is another quote unquote competitor to that of what?
Beyond
Beyond
Meat.
Meat. As you see here, there's that's not Ethan there, but that's the guy at the top right here. You see him? That's the guy that owns Impossible Burgers. The guy Ethan. What's Ethan last name? He owns Beyond. I know this because y'all know I'm a big Beyond Meat advocate. But I forgot his last name right now. But his name Ethan.
They good.
Yeah, he. He's obviously one of the top dogs. So again, that's the value where we're going. We're going there one way or the other. The future proteins, right? Plant-based protein, right? We going there. Right? And they just been dropping news like crazy. Now, keep in mind, the CEO, there's two CEOs. They got a co-CEO scenario. Shiro and the other guy is Shinoshio, something like that. I don't want to butcher the dude name. They're Japanese. But these jokers went to Harvard. They graduated from Harvard. We got news the other day that they was in New York this weekend at this specific Harvard club that you only can go to. You got, been to Harvard or you're on the guest list. Discussing, business concerned around this new, venture. So yeah, and they just dropped here, as you see here, this past Friday they dropped the what? Vegan egg lunch in Japan, world's second largest consumer of eggs. Right? Y'all see that right there? Can y'all see my screen right there?
Mm-hmm.
So when people see titles like that, it'll miss the average person. Why? Because they don't really understand it from an investor standpoint, right?
Right.
They are the world's second largest consumer of eggs in Japan. Moment of silence there, right? Second largest, world's second largest consumer of eggs. Them dropping this new egg, right? This vegan egg, right? 1.0 created to offer consumers a sustainable alternative to eggs, right? Think about that. Obviously, I showed y'all just eggs, right? They make this with mung bean, right? Y'all can go pull up this. I ain't got to go deep into that. I'm just showing you my range of my extensive research. I can break all that down if you want me to, right? But look at it. See, these are the ones some of the companies already there. See, there's just egg, right? Y'all see right there, vegan, right there. Follow your heart. I actually use some of the Follow Heart products too. They're a vegan company. All right. Ogs, right? There's veg, right? And there's cracked, right? Those are 100% plant-based, mock egg companies. Just egg, probably the best out of these because they 100% soy free, all that, cholesterol free, all that. As of today, right? But imagine the footprint this alleviates for not having all these chickens to do that now. And again, this just me. Don't y'all come for me. Don't y'all come for your brother, right? But that just egg patty.
Mm-hmm.
But that thing tastes just like an egg. I ain't even lying. Y'all know I ain't ate eggs in years. Y'all know I've been off that stuff in years. Like dairy, sugar like that, eggs, all this. I've been off that stuff for years, right? I changed my diet like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That egg patty tastes, that just egg thing tastes just like scrambled egg. I'm not making that up. I am not, right? Tastes just like it. They got a scrambled version, or you can buy the egg patty in itself, right? So these people in that lab, they figured out how to make this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying. So y'all can read through this article if y'all want an article. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post it in the back in the YouTube side. Again, this is how you do your research, right?
Right.
And then for what it's worth, y'all know how this stuff go. It's a part of you being able to, man, look, goodness, I'm just saying, this is the money. This is where the money at, right? Because this is where everybody going. And they got massive billionaire investors behind them. Massive. Right? Because they know this is where everything, eventually, they going to funnel it in there one way or the other, right? One way or the other. Look at Just Egg. Look at it. They go Just Egg again. Each Just Sales, vegan equivalent of 100 million eggs, raises 200 million, and latest what? They doing, that mean they're doing what are they doing right now?
Investment round.
You see it. That 200 million came so quick. You think they had a problem raising that 200 million? Nope. One person probably like, I got it. Let me do it. Nah, we're gonna spread it around. Nah, man, I want to be. They want control and shareholder, value. Well, they want to have a good, say in something. This dunk is that box right there, just egg box patty right there, the egg patty. That's what I got in my refrigerator right now. That thing's super. I mean, all right, move on, bro. That's just why I get my hat done. I get it, but they're good. They're good. They are good.
Okay.
Right? And so, guess what?
Uh-oh. That's gonna be a competition right there. That's gonna raise the level for everybody. It's about to go down.
What'd you say? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. Now, keep in mind, see what it said. McDonald's exploring plant-based eggs as part of what? Plant range, right?
Yep.
So either they're gonna have to formulate their own, or they're gonna have to go to what? A Just Egg or Next Meat. There's only so many players in the space, right? There's only y'all saw the ones. Look at him. Ain't nobody else out there like that on that side. That's pure plant-based egg because it's a different value than like you can easily make a plant-based burger, right? Garden style, 100% bean style, quinoa rice, and now they got the mock meats and Beyond Meat that just came about. But we talking about eggs. Find me a mock egg out there. You see what I'm saying? That's next level. Because how many people eat eggs? Do people eat more eggs than they eat meat? Yep. There are more egg eaters than meat eaters on the entire planet. Think about that for a moment.
That's tough.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And you gonna pull up all that too. I think Brother Jay, you asked me if they on start engine. They're not on start engine. But you can go straight because y'all know this is how we do our investigative research. We go straight to source, right? What's the source? Go straight to the company.
Mm-hmm.
Go look through all their filings, see what they got going on. If they got any rounds coming up, investment rounds coming up. You can track all that stuff in real time. This is what makes us different. This is what, again, I'm just saying, come to Death Row Records. I'm just saying, this is what I leave back. Come to Death Row Records. That's all I'm going to say. Come to Death Row Records. Right? Joker like, but how you be finding this stuff? This is how we find them. This is it. So ain't nothing that everybody else can't do. This stuff ain't foreign language. This ain't just it's within all of our repertoire. Make sense? And so again, we loving our CPSL, right? It's where we at now. 5-7 got what? We just hit. Yeah, we just hit. Just closed out. Right, up around about 8-9% today on the day. What? Oh, no, excuse me, 13%. Close up 13% on the day. Another great day. Right? So all I'm saying is, what we were saying was what it was saying. So so just eggs, keep that on your radar. Now again, this is next egg. Now we talking about just egg too, but this is the next egg lunch right here. Dairy vegan egg. World's second largest consumer of eggs. This just popped off Friday. Look at that. Y'all think that don't look like eggs to y'all?
Just like egg.
Yeah, look. That's like a nice little scramble there, right? Right? It ain't gonna be long for IHOP, Bob Evans, whatever your little favorite diner is. Because some of them diners already started to pick it up. Silver Diner here in DMV area, DC area, Maryland, Virginia. Some of y'all may know about Silver Diner, right? Waldorf, Maryland, down there in Astoria. Say again?
Yeah, I heard about them. I've been to Waldorf a couple times.
That Silver Diner, is one of their favorite diners. It's a chain of them. They call Silver Diner. It's one of their favorite. It's a famous diner chain in this area.
Mm-hmm.
They carry that just egg.
Okay.
They got it, and they do a lot of business in them Silver Diners. Matter of fact, they opened up one in Ashburn, up in Loudoun County area, right? Because y'all know with these wild folk. When I say wild folk, I mean these old spoiled brats out here.
Right.
They cater to that big money crowd out here. Like matter of fact, the Washington Redskins, they practice right up the street, not too far from where I stay. They got a little practice. Well, that's where they do practice at. Anyway, they feed them type of jokers, right? And so that just egg is starting to move now, right? So that's why next meets won't end on what? This American market. They already got a foot in with Way Back Burgers, man. They already got that deal locked with Way Back Burgers. They're gonna have a Way Back Burgers Asia. If some of you guys may be familiar with Way Back Burger, it's a chain that started out of Delaware. Right? Matter of fact, I used to live close to Delaware when I was in Maryland. We were stationed over there in Aberdeen. But the Way Back Burgers is, they started right over there in Newark, Delaware. Right? If y'all got familiar with Delaware, it ain't but so big. That matter of fact, I know exactly what road is on too. That Way Back Burger, the first one. And then they expanded in Connecticut. Then whatever. Now they got over 500 stores, and they moving international now. Way Back Burgers.
That
marinade. And so all their plant-based right now they're using Impossible Burgers. Now this was get crazy. I did say this is gonna be my last thing, but this is gonna be my last one. I'm dropping a couple little nuggets here, right? I'm just showing y'all the method of my madness, right? All right. So let's go. Let me show you this right here. Right? They already got the Impossible Burger, right? On their menu. But that's just America, right? See right here? Impossible Burger, right? Y'all see that there?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't showing my screen, my bad. Oh, is it showing? It's showing?
Yeah.
It's showing. Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
That's what they were doing before they got with what? Next Meats.
Mm-hmm.
So, however the length of that contract that they have with next meat, Impossible Burgers, it could be very short lived.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got our own in-house producer now. In-house producer that actually owns a stake in our company. Owns a stake in a company. White Knight Company, White Knight Limited, Wayback Burger, Next Meats Limited. Man, look. So that's 500 stores. And that's before they even open up the one that they're going to do Wayback Burgers in Asia. Well, you know, the Asian expansion of Wayback Burgers. They're going to spread it all out through whatever, Japan, whatever. They're going to be using that Next Meats. Beyond Meat is still trying to get over there at that level, right? They still moving around. They're expanding, but they're trying to get into that space, right? Because why? All the people over there, right? That's where the money. That's why Tesla tried to ran to Asia. He ain't stupid. Elon ain't crazy. I want this market, right? They got the head count over there, and they eat. As weird as it sounds, they eat more stuff than we do over here. Think about Asian cuisine. They have like sometimes like 7, 8, 9, 10 different ingredients in one little pot.
Right.
In America, you have what? Your collard green, your little smoked meat, whatever you got, and that's it. Then you got your rice, you know what I'm saying? Your turkey neck, your little ham knuckle, your little pot, your little beans, that's it. Think about it.
Pig feet.
The pig feet, that's it. Over there, they be having like, man, they have Szechuan, they got the mung beans, lemongrass, galunga. They have, man, look at him, sea cucumber. Man, they have like 1,000 things in one little pot. Think about that, man. All right. So Impossible Burgers might be short lived.
Long denied. See
what I'm saying? Come on with it, right? It's gonna be on, guys. So, you know, look. So let me show you. Hit that international. Hit that right there. Right. Hit that international right there. Right. See now we finna get see now this stuff we come check. Right. See, they're in this many countries. Who knew? Did y'all know about Wayback Burgers before today? Anybody? Anybody knew about Wayback Burgers before today? Little old company that started right there in Newark, Delaware. Because I know the original location there too. I've been past several times. This one back when I was eating meat. I might have had one day burgers way back then. It's like what, 8 years ago, somewhere around there, 7, 8 years ago. Yeah, but I know exactly where the original location at. And some guys they teamed up with some people in Connecticut and they took it on the road. Keep in mind, that was just that long ago. Look where they at now in that short period of time. And people don't even really know about their company. Think about that. You know what you don't see on here right now? What don't you see on here right now? What company that you don't see on here right now that we know that's got to deal with them? Japan. And Japan finna be their major what? Major control and share interest holder because they bought stake in the company and they want to be able to list their what? They plant-based products also within their what? Their menu. So these names right look, all right. I'm just saying we connect the dots over here, come to Death Row Records. Connect the dots. Right. So next meets the stock. You know, they walk see because y'all know Beyond Burger want that McDonald's contract so bad, they still ain't got it. They got a trial contract. Impossible Burgers in certain restaurants, right? They in TGIF. They got that Burger King. They got the Impossible Burgers and Burger King, right? But we talk about McDonald's. That's international, right? But here's a franchise that can come into a nation, and it could be the marquee burger franchise. And we have 100% deals on the plant-based burger. They can sign their own checks at that point. And they're expanding, right? They're trying to get one in Vegas. The Vegas is going to be is where they're looking for to be their hub. They're trying to make Vegas their hub for the Next Meat Limited, American version and potential listing on the NASDAQ. Right. So again, whatever. Right. I know I didn't nerded y'all out with all this stuff, man. My bad. Right. Let me back away from the computer. Right. Back away from the computer, brother AfurakanEmporium. Back away from your computer. Right. Right. Y'all wonder what be going on up and see this is what we do. Right. Again, so that was a stock that, again, using that as the case study, it, well over, well over 400-500% for most people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm up near, I think, on my position around about 8,000-9,000% on my position there. Right? And so, me personally, I'm a look, just the way things are going. As long as I don't hear anything about splitting, riding it out. Why? Because we're talking about beyond meat status. This is like when you get in at the ground floor
Mm-hmm.
and you just sit in it. Where even if you got in late, let's say you even put a couple hundred on it. If the stock just go to $1 from 0.005, let that marinate for a moment. The average person gonna be up, at least $30,000-$40,000 somewhere around there, give or take, off a couple $100. Some of them are like that. Y'all can do the math real quick, right? But and that's before you start even think about the run rate in the future in terms of all the plant-based stuff. The plant-based did. Beyond Meat went from 45 to the 250 in 2 months. And it's still trying to get traction. It's still a young version of the company that's trying to get woo-saw. Y'all get it. Right? You guys get it. So we just wait on the 8K. Whenever that 8K drop, look, it's gonna be like an album. It's gonna be like Me Against the World 2040 to 2021. Right? It's coming. Right? I'm just waiting on that 8K to drop. When that thing drop, I'm gonna be all over it. Right? And so a lot of these message boards, you can go check them out. Again, investment Twitter, right? Investment Twitter. You want to see what everybody else is doing, what the research going on. This is how you kind of keep up with all this stuff. You just got to go dig, right? You got to go dig and see what's going on with some of these assets in that perspective, right? Right? Because we're definitely on the rise. It's been slowly going up. It's been quietly kept in a lot of ways. A lot of people just not starting to hear about Catapult Solution. Now it's a big scramble, pun intended, right? To be a part of the stock. Because it's up over 70%. Last week it went up over 70%. Last week. It went up over 70% last week alone. And that was talking about a stock that's trading at, literally, 4 cents a share, 2 to 3 cents a share, somewhere around this, trading them like that. And then broke out and got into 5 to 6s, and Joker just been adding and building it up. Right, so we didn't get you the drop. Jokers that sat there and watched us and like, man, I don't know. They were sitting there scratching their head and not sure. This is kind of what they're looking like right now. This ain't no shot, but have a little fun every now and then. Them jokers that was sitting there, second guessing the scenario. Now they're looking like they right here. Triple OG, triple OG. Triple OG with the do-rag. He's sitting there like that. But that broker told me at 0.005, God, dog, bro, I could have been rich. Triple G on triple OG. Triple O quadruple G. It be like that sometimes. Bro. But that's it. Have a little fun. That's it, guys. So let me get out here, man. I know I ran my mouth a lot. I always say a whole lot in a little bit of time, but that's my whole purpose. I want to get on here and work, right? That's what I come on here for, to work, right? And we ain't making nothing happen unless we're working. So that's why I love what we do, because we actually put in work. And it can lead to what? A bag, right? Not a brag with a BR, but a bag, BA, right? That's the difference, right? We don't walk away with bragging rights, so we walk away with a bag. Tangible benefits, right? And so we're excited by that. And so again, I hope this guys, this was edifying for you guys today. You say open match, you say, do you think Bitcoin will go back to 64,000? Now, let me ask you this question right here.
Man.
All right, I know I know how you asking that question. I know Brother Matthew. I know his brain, right? I know our over brain. Let me ask you this question right here, Brother Matthew. You've been in the game for a little second here. You've been learning, you're training. From what you learned in your skill sets, when we think about patterns and trends, right? When we think about patterns and trends, markets have memory, right? What will convince you that it would not go back to 64,000? That's the $1 million question. Always ask the question in a different manner. What will stop them from going back to 64,000? As opposed to, do you think it'll go back to 64,000? Because this is a game of what? Deductive reasoning. This is what they call falsifying what? Data, right? To make it what? A fact, right? We're dealing with theory, speculative nature, but we have data points to substantiate our what? Our thesis or our theory, right? Before we start building on our thesis. Once we got all the components there, we say, okay, let me deconstruct this thing. Let me reverse engineer. Okay, regulation ain't hinder it, even though they're trying to add little small stuff here and there. It's not stopping it. Expansion of adoption going forward, 1,000%. Now investment bankers want in. Jamie Dimon, the biggest bear ever for the crypto space. Now he all of a sudden all in on it. This was the biggest bear ever. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, now all of a sudden he's all in on it.
Warren Buffett, come on now.
He the only one left. He probably gonna go in the grave before it happened, but we don't know. He might have that epiphany right on the grave. He might be on the table. They might hit him with the jumper cable. Bitcoin. Buffett said Bitcoin. My thing go to 100,000 in 2 seconds. Boy, play with it. Think about it. All he needed to say Bitcoin. Yeah, I changed my mind. Man, look, that sign said change my mind. That means change my mind. Look, man. But we don't need Buffett at this point. We got Novograd. We got Eric Tepper. We got some heavyweights.
Kathy Woods.
Right? Kathy, Elon, Dorsey, what's my mother name? Brother, God dang it. Blah, 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 blah. What's buddy name? It's slipping me right now. See what happened? You got all this stuff in your head. Everything just kind of move around trying to brain to for what brother name is. Of course, you know, you can put in Mark Zuckerberg on side note because he got a Libra coin, but I'm not even talking about him because you know he garbage. But man, what buddy name is?
Talking about Mark Cuban.
Well, we definitely got Cuban too. Now this is one of the players. He actually owned the great score. He actually owned micro strategy, right? And buddy that on micro strategy. What buddy name is? Who the CEO of micro strategy? Come on, man. I should know this. It's slipping me right now. He always on every airwave too. It's just slipping my mind right now. Michael Saylor. God dang it. My bad. Michael Saylor. Right? So Michael Saylor. And you know, we got Shamat, right? Shamat Patil, right? We got several players, but you know, but it's here now. Again, it's point. All I'm saying is we're here now. Right? Yeah, it's that brother, right? Rashu, Michael Saylor. So we here now, you know. So hey, deductive reasoning, brother Matthews. Think about that. All the factors, you know, what's the only thing that can create a Bitcoin at this point? Right? You see, you got to think about it, you know, from that different perspective, right? We here now. The Fed even won't in on it. Them crooks won't in on it. Right? Could make this stuff up. Yeah, I think a merger with you say. Do you think a merger would be in the future for Beyond Meats? Well, they're trying to merge with a lot of other companies now, right? Well, you know, obviously, you know, affiliate to offer their product, but to merge with a massive manufacturer, possibly, or a chain, right, that can help R&D their business or bankroll their R&D to expand, definitely, very much so. Keep in mind, they just came IPO last year, right, during COVID. Think about that. Beyond Meat came out during COVID. And then it went to what? You know, it shot all the way up. And then now you're sitting at, you know, buku dollars, right? Right? Buku dollars. right? Well, 2019, excuse me, I said 2019. But June of 2019, I said COVID last year, 2020, but it's 2019. June of 2019. This literally, the sky's the future. Well, y'all get my point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you say strict regulations on crypto could derail it. What regulation that they hadn't trying to come out with today to stop it? Again, that's the question you got to ask you. I always ask the question from a different, the other side of the spectrum. What regulation can they provide to derail it that they haven't already thought about at this point? With everybody, now looking at it from a main, adoption perspective, everybody want it. They want the infrastructure. They want the blockchain. They want that, ledger, that accountability, that transparency, right? It's here. It's whooping out every bank. It's whooping all these intermediary, even loan and lending companies, whooping them too. It's cutting out all the middleman. This one scenario where you can't beat it, you got to end up what? Joining it. The biggest market for it tried it, and it still ain't stopped it. In terms of China, all they did was just what? They let their miners keep working though. Notice that? They restricted from their patrons or their citizens being able to access it through these little different brokers, but they allow the miners to keep working. Why? Because they want the technology. They know how important that technology is. They ain't stupid, right? China is not stupid. Don't get it twisted. So again, we here. That's all I say. We here. We here, right? They ain't got nothing against it. They can't stop it. Again, this one of them death row moment, come to death row Jesus moment, right? That's basically what it is for Bitcoin at this point. And so, Coach, we've been riding it since, late 1,000, called myself $1,900. And then we called the bottom when it came down to 3,100. We called that bottom to the T. We got the records to prove it. And it's been up ever since then, from 3,000 up to 64,000. Now, and it's bull flagging. It's what's crazy about the pattern is just, it's ridiculously bullish. Even when people think it's doing this, man, no, you got to look at the charts, man. I tell people get out the emotion and start looking at the reality thing. Look at the chart. This is my last one. I got to get out here. Seriously, I got an errand to run here. Let me pull up this right here. You got to look at the chart. Trace the chart. Them charts don't be lying, man. Them charts don't be lying, bro. Look at that chart. Look at that chart. Man, let me blow it up here. Look at that chart right there. You see what's happening there. Y'all already see what's happening right there. You see what's happening. Y'all already know what it is. Look right there. You right up against that old level, old support that's not new resistance, right? Right? Where it was, now it's resistance again. Old support resistance, now resistance becomes support. In this case, it's now new resistance all over again, but it's right up on that now. All you do is, chatter those guys, take out those little guys there, get back up to that 50 grand area right here. That's why you see that little stopping point right there around about 50,000 there. You see I got my little trend line right there. And you got to what? Look at that pattern right there. Now, don't necessarily mean it ain't going to come back down. Trend back down, probably around 20, moving at around about 38,000. But either way you look at it, that support, hell, that 28,000, 30,000, 29,000 support area that everybody was worried about, it ended up holding. Look right here. Look to the left. Charts don't lie. Look right here. See over here? That's it right there. Matter of fact, let me hash line that thing. Right? Let me hash line that thing for a case study later. So we can show Joke exactly why we about this life. See right there? See right there? Ping, 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 out of there. It held. That's what everybody was waiting to see that to hell. And guess what? All they did by bringing it down that low was allow who to get in? More banks, more big investment funds, more funds came around during that time. Allowed them to get in at that price because they missed getting in at what? 18,000, 20,000. They missed it. That's it. That's their last. Look, okay. Something crazy will have to happen on the planet at this point. to bring it back down in this 18,000, 19,000 area. Something crazy would have to happen. Crazy. Notice I said crazy. We're talking about double anomaly, right? That's it. Outside of that, this is, we're here now. Right? Yeah, and so all I'm gonna say is stay patient. You got fraction shares you could buy $1 worth, $2 worth. Stay patient. That's all I'm gonna say. Stay patient. Right. So yeah, guys. So that's it. So let me get out of here, guys. I got some errands to run. I would love to stay and kick it with the family a little longer. We'll get back in the habit of trying to do this. I'm trying to get back in the habit where I can come on more live during the intraday sessions and get it, build with the family. Right. So left you guys a few nuggets today. Some good, psychological, nuggets also to help your mind stay focused on the goal. Right. But what we're here for, right? We build goals. Any investment thesis, any trading thesis is surrounded around a goal. You have to have a goal first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go down the road from there. Right? So that's what makes it great about this, because this actually helps build good real world skill sets, right? That follow you in your regular life, right? It helps you better at timekeeping, multitasking, management, money management, all that stuff, right? You become a better person just by learning how to be a little bit more organized, basically is my point. And so your research methodology obviously just as another extension of your discipline. You become disciplined better too, right? And so that's what I think I love about this, because see, in this here, every question is warranted. Every question is warranted. It forces you to dig a little deeper. It forces you to, extend a little bit more, time to your research methodology. It forces you to want to be better. Why? Because you want to be right. Because if you being right or in the right place at the right time can yield you what? A return on that what? Time you invested in that information. That's what makes this great. We get a chance to eat off our research firsthand, right? Firsthand style, right? So, people saying, man, Tesla, they lost that money because the stock came down. They didn't lose their money. They already got in, at a point where, look, their impairment chart, these gains right here, they ate all that up just that fast, right? Tesla already up, what 1.8, 1.9 billion in profit on their Bitcoin buy. Man, all right. Let me just be quiet. Let me just be quiet, because Joker don't want to. I'm just saying we dealing with the numbers. I'm just saying.
Thanks.
So if you like, they can Dogecoin army, they can Ethereum class, they can 88. 88 been building up again, or picking up again. Cardano. There's several others out there too, but man, I'm just saying things look good from where we sit. It's a patient game. It's a game of chess, not checkers. If you got the patience and your money, could be, spoken for in a way where you have to worry about, micromanaging it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Sit back and let things ride out. Just sit back and obviously keep your eye on it, but definitely let it ride out. Let it do what it's gonna do.
AMC beat on Revs.
Oh yeah, AMC had earnings tonight too. Yep. So that's a big one. I know a lot of people waiting on that, so it's probably doing this thing. Hold up. God damn it. Did I? My battery must be going dead on my keyboard. So it's sticking. All right. So it's up $1 after hours here. Let's see where we at here. It's up $1 here after hours. So let me come down to the hourly chart. Where we at right here? It's up 35. Yeah, 35. So $35 right now after hours. So yeah, nice little $1.50 jump up from where it was earlier. Near $2 actually here, near $2. All right, so we'll see how this holds after hours here. Estimate is -4. I have to go back and look at the real report, so I'll look at it when I get off here. All right, so again, AMC still hanging in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying hanging in there, I mean they got to hold that support of around about $28-30. They got to hold that support, because that really builds a new launching pad for the stock. Now, even though we know it can come down, a a little lower, but I think if it can stay above 30, they can really make some things happen. Now, outside that, of course, you got to level down here around there 25. After that, it's whatever. But as of now, you know, the stock is still flagging. Actually, it's actually still in the flag pattern, a bull flag. No matter either way you look at it, it's still in the bull flag pattern. So AMC here for the micro win after hours up about near 2 points after hours here. After hours. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm peeking them a little bit when I get my hands free.
Dang. This stock is up AMC up 631% over a year.
And we were down there at $2 a share. We were down there at that $2 share area. Planned it, crushed it. The 350 call strike. Them calls, man. Look, I paid $50 for that call position. That thing was worth what? It was worth what? $1,800.
Mm-hmm.
A contract. $50 turned into $1,800. Woo, Gina. Woo, Gina. I think me and Sister Kiana played the brakes off that joker. I think some of y'all caught some of it too. Once it got to banging out. But yeah, so man, look, we be all right. I'm just saying.
Nice little bag.
Come to Death Row Records. I'm gonna end it on that note. So, any last words over Chris on the way out the door?
Oh man, like you said, cover the Death Row Records, man. If you don't, you gonna keep the one that's dancing all in the videos. You're not getting what you're supposed to get.
Plastic bag suits on, dancing all in the videos, and cut up a little bit. That's facts, though. That's it. Seriously, we are humble, we're hungry, and we in it for the long haul. That's just facts. Ain't no fly by night. Ain't no well, just speakers you remember. But I know these guys. These guys solid. These guys about building generation wealth. That we done drunk the Kool-Aid. At this point we understand because we see the results. Once you get the results, it's hard to kind of backslide off this to go back to what punching by the clock. Universally in a way where that's just the only thing. Nah, that ain't happening. Right. So we understand the hard work and ethics behind this. So we in it. So I employ more of our people to realize that too, because again, a lot of the world's riches are stored in what? Equity assets, the commodities, right? And then even the real estate side. You can do the paper side, or you can do the actual land, right? The REIT side there. So either way you look at it, we canvassing all the spaces. We canvassing all of them. Even emerging market technology and crypto, Bitcoin, AI technology. Again, another banger coming. And the AI really expanded. So yeah, we ready. So Ober Brandon, any last words on the way out, Ober Brandon?
Thank you for what you do. Thank you for staying consistent. Both of you, AE, Chris, everybody in the whole back chat. Thank you guys. Always just watch the market, learn from the market, and then obviously just take from the market. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard. It's just about preparation and studying. That's it.
Thanks.
If you're a good studier, you can make anything happen.
And we have the tools to do it. We spend a lot of time already doing it in other avenues, right? That's what's crazy about it. It's not like people can even downplay the fact that they don't have the time. They do. We give a lot of our time to other things. We just got to learn how to move some of that stuff over to this side of the house too, right? So yes, they say it's like setting a plan. Set a plan, right? Key to successful traders, right? Set a plan first and foremost. Have the interest. Number one, you have to have the interest for it. One, that's the permanent value that we all share. We have a permanent interest in this, right? Have the interest first. Set a plan. Go from there, right? Right. And these are just things for intraday trading, long-term investments. It's the same reality at the end of the day, right? You got to know what you're dealing with, the rules of engagement. Right? Once those things been established, it's game on, right? And then when you get to a point where you're like, okay, I done went through all the paying tuition and making a crazy mistake. Now you become an offensive player. Now you start moving like this right here. Just be trying to knock you off your square, right? You be like, not today, right? Not today. I got this, right? So that's just the difference, right? But everything we've done, you can definitely do it better. It's public information. It's public information. It's not hidden. I don't have a special subscription to something that gives me something that somebody else can't get. Right? We have all access to the same aspect of information that due diligence, regimen, and so the rest is just putting it to work. Application. Let's say application. Demonstration without conversation without demonstration. Right? Right? You got to be able to demonstrate. Right? You got to be able to demonstrate because demonstration does beat conversation, as we say a lot. All right? Demonstration does beat conversation. All right? So that's it. So thank y'all on the YouTube side of the house. Thank you on the Facebook side of the house. Everybody where you might have came from, your respective, enclaves where you saw the link to come on today. I'm grateful. Thank y'all for patronizing, with a view. Definitely like, share, subscribe it, get it out there to the people. If you feel compelled to want to throw your brother a nice little, a little 50 cent on the cash app, we'll take that too. All right. Whatever you guys, stay hungry, stay diligent, stay studying, and realize again. Get with people who edify your future, right? Not your present. Get with people that want to edify your future. That's the difference, right? Because everybody, you got people coming in the here and the now, and they just for the here and the now. But they're not really concerned about your future. You want to get people that's going to help edify your future, right? And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a culture of people who are serious about that kind of financial wealth and freedom. And we're no better than anybody else. That's what I love about it. We stand by the Ubuntu rule. I am because we are, right? So I implore you guys to take that same energy, get your kids involved, get your spouses involved, grow together. It's a great feeling when you can do it, do it the right way, right? And when I say the right way, meaning with other people who got your back, who's going to be there for you, be right there with you, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So that's it. So that's it. So outside of that, let's get that bags, right? Let's get them bags, right? 2020. We came out 2021 with the bag. We're going into 2022 with another bag. So I'm gonna leave y'all on that those who secured the bag in 2021, right? Or 2020, right? Going into 2021. Get that bag.
Thanks, over.
All right, guys, let's get that bag. See y'all on the next one, guys. Peace, power, profit, everybody. See y'all on the next one.
Profit.
Peace, everybody.
Peace, family.
Peace, family. Peace, everybody.